Hello everyone. Hey Hero. Hey Rogue. How's the audio right now? I have not tested this out in any way, so I expect a lot of scuff today. Let me switch over to just chatting. And Rogue Regime Hydrate, so I need to hydrate. Where is my water bottle at? I just had it. There it is. Oh, my water bottle's empty. Alright, instead I'm gonna drink one of these all the drinks I have down here. Arizona Red Apple Green Tea is this one. Actually, has a lot of sugar. What do I have down here? I found Lonnie News. Let me grab that. Let's grab one of these Alani News. Which brew energy drinks I got instead? Oh, had to bend all the way down under my desk for that. You know what I can do? Let's just see what the quality looks like really quick. Also, let's make sure I get to hear myself. How's the audio? Alright, let me turn the music down just a smidge. It's not loud, but I want to make the audio levels just be lower than my normal talking voice because I have a very soft, quiet voice. Oh, texting muted. Doesn't help that this is all lo-fi music, so I don't know if it's gonna get really quiet or if it's gonna get really loud randomly. But yeah, everyone tell me how the volume is. Oh. Alright, so the new thing, checking out, we're doing creative stream, so let me see how that looks. How's my hand look on there? And how's that show up on stream? Okay. Yeah, colors don't look off or anything, so that looks fine. I think that works well. Let me just a couple little settings here and there. Okay, there. Framer looks fine too. Ooh. Team does like an all focus thing if I get too close to the camera. Okay. Let's see if I can move the mic a little closer to me. Hopefully that doesn't mess with anything. So pretty much I have my iPhone I have up here when I want to do like V Studio up here. Slapping my face. Well, I could. But yeah, pretty much like I'm right behind the camera, which is just my iPhone, one of my spare ones I have. And then I had to kind of, because my room light's not well, so I had to make this really like crappy looking soft light from just a little lamp I had with some like tissue paper for like wrapping paper. But that seems to do well with the color, so like let's just hold this can up that I'm supposed to be drinking for our dehydrate. So if I hold this up here, it looks alright on the camera here. See how that shows up on stream. See what the colors are. Okay, colors are showing up fine. Let's get drink. All right, drinking time. I wonder how loud this is if I pop it near the mic, because my mic's like literally, it's right here is my microphone. Ooh, hope that doesn't make weird noises. Let's pop it on stream. So this is a witch's brew. I had one of these before. Oh, why is it on the opposite side of the thing? Oh yeah, oh no. A little bit spilled off. Let's give that witch's brew. I think this is supposed to be like a caramel apple flavor that they released in October. Oh my god, I just heard my splurt when I chugged it. I don't really hear my... I wonder if there's too much in my way to hear my gulp. Or I just wasn't gulping hard enough. We can put that down right there. Stream not sponsored, but if they want to, I will. Like my millions of Gamer Fuel, well, G Fuel and Gamer Subs jugs I have on my desk, along with 100 other things. So I have no real plans for stream. I just thought, oh no, let me fix that. I must have nudged that when I was setting stuff up. Let me go fix my little job stones from Final Fantasy. Keep them nice and ordered. There, perfect. So yeah, I have nothing planned. I do have this backlog of Fallout minis I bought like last year. Problem is, this is like less than like 20% of all my minis I have. Yeah, Jobstone's Hero, Final Fantasy 14, best game. And I mean, it kind of shows off. Yeah, I'm a tank. I like to tank. When people ask me which class I play, I say tank role, and then they're like, oh, because they're all really the same. It's just what flavor you want to be that day, and then white mage. Because you can only be a good tank if you understand the pain of a healer. The healers always suffer the most, especially when I'm going back to back crazy pulls. But I know they can handle it because I feel their pain when I have to heal it. Plus, if I go warrior, I just heal myself. The white mage gets to relax and cast a bunch of spells instead of just healing. It's a great time. Alright, so back on topic. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go off topic. I feel like this is gonna be like a Lux stream where we'll probably not even end up painting anything today. I may just be doing a whole bunch of setup, and then we're like, oh, we're ready for paint minis next time, guys. Because funny enough, like this whole setup I have up here, I like how you can see also my VR headset down here. This whole setup right here is just like my mini stuff, but this is only like less than, this is very few of my minis. I have a whole bunch of like other stuff underneath my table down here that you can't see. I have all my paints up there that I still have to take down. Once we decide what we're painting, I have to go through and, you know, just figure out what we're doing. Let me see if I can adjust this. Can I make this go even further back so you can see more? Or is that no good? Does that make this, do you see? No, you actually see less sort of that way. Let me, what position do I have it to where you can see the bottom of the can? I don't even know where I had this at. Did I have it like this? I have to readjust all this. I'm using this stand at, what's that, March? Oh, March 7th. My little, like, here's my little display I have above my desk. This is just one of my, like, figurine display boxes. I mean, we could go through that while I'm still trying to decide what I'm doing. I'm gonna move these little computer parts that I just leave lying around. Like a tiny 128 gigabyte Samsung card. Mini SD. So, well, we gotta take you off. Problem with this case is I think this Bowser, like, Lego set I have up here, the Bowser airship. It's a little heavy, so when I open this, it kind of sags a little bit, so I have to kind of like push it back up. But if we're careful enough, we got a tiny mini tiny march. Oh man, this is hard to do. I have to kind of, let me see if I can do it sitting down. It's a bit easier to look at the camera. Okay, there we go. I got this like little march holding donuts. We had like a little promotion when the game came out. There's like the Trailblazer series, and then you have Stella. Or Stella, what's her name again? I think it's Stella 4. I never remember names because I always just use my name. And she got a little sandwich. So I got those two. I think they did Himiko, and Dan Hain also has one too. I don't think it was for anniversary. I think it was for like the launch of the game. See, I got like a March 7 back there. I also have another like board that I got from a different figure I bought for March. So I got like this one. Oh my god. It's like I have to get up to grab stuff, but then I have to sit that down so I can actually see it on the camera and see. So I got this little board, that nice one behind her. I just leave this off on the side because it looks nice like that. Just squish that back in. I got a giant Kirby, of course. I got this little love ball, which, oh, it is powered on. I wonder why it wasn't doing anything. So yeah, like these are like the Wong Company ones. I only got the mini one because I think the ones they had, like the big one, were out of stock, and I think they just came back. Yeah, like it reacts to how close you get to it, and I think you can do stuff if you push the button. But yeah, those are fun to play with. Just bring out the Fat Yoshi. So got good old Fat Yoshi. I don't know why he looks so like dark green, because that wasn't the color I painted him a long time ago, but I guess now he's really dark green. Maybe the paints I use darken over time, or maybe it could be reacting because he's a resin print, so maybe it could be reacting to the resin and cause the paint to change color. But he was a lot brighter before when I painted him. He was closer to like the green that you see on the stream. Yeah, the Fat Mario Yoshi. He's the one that, let me switch back to the other screen really quick, the just chatting. He's that one. That's the same Fat Yoshi right there. That's him. He's that Yoshi. On a little turntable thing I have, just so I could do a 360 of it. That's this guy. You can see all the little imperfections I have, like around his eyes, because I didn't paint too well. Or like that one in between his legs down there. And this feels so weird. I'm not used to like looking through a camera and then it being my hands touching stuff and showing stuff off. This is a new experience for me. Come back there. And actually, let's start just moving these out of the way. Everything I've shown, and I can just put all back in a second. Yeah, mini painting. Well, that's the whole point of this whole stream now, is I'm gonna be painting mini sets or like building model kits or stuff like that. So this is like actually the first thing I ever painted, like mini wise, because this is like from one of those Wizard of the Coast like come and paint events. Let me see. Let me angle the camera a little bit down so I can get the soft light a bit more on it. Let me move the soft light a bit up so get better lighting. There we go. So yeah. What's that? Can't tell, is that cat hair or was that, what was that? Maybe it was cat hair. So yeah, they teach you like all the techniques, like doing like first a base coat, then like detailing, and then dry brushing, and then highlights and all that stuff. So this is the first one they like showed off. I didn't like that they did a cheap thing where anything metallic, you just use metallic paint to try and move away from that. Is that like, let me look. Yeah, it looks like I messed up right there. There's a little smudge of paint on his hand. I don't know how I can make that focus. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so I must have actually dabbed in a bit when I was painting the pants. So he was like one of my very first ones painted, and then the basing, I did that at home. I didn't do the basing when I was there. This is my first like base job, where here's like this weird solid rock thing he's on. That's part of his original base. Oh, that piece of, I guess there was a rock on there that may have fallen off. Over here. But yeah, like they didn't give you any rock, like these little cork rocks. So that's just a piece of cork that I painted that looks like a rock. Little grasses. Those I had to go get myself, and then I have like base filler. Like I just use like base glue and then a bunch of like rocks. Well, actually, funny enough, I can kind of show you where those are. Let me take us down really quick. So in this little drawer right here, move all this out of the way. I have like all my, actually let me move this thing way out so it doesn't get in anything. I don't want to spill the water anywhere. There, that should be fine. This is my basing drawer, so I have a bunch of spare bases along with little like 3D printed ones for like minis that I haven't finished painting yet. And sometimes when I make it print a mini, I'll just take their base and I'll print it like an extra like 4 or 5 bases just so I have like spare bases. This is like a nice wood plank one if you want to do like a ship or inside a town. It's just like a nice little like tiled base. If you want to do something like that's a cleric, they'll probably like being on that. Yeah, I got like clear ones if I want to go clear, or a bunch of blank black ones, so you can just go wherever you want to do with those. But more importantly, inside this little drawer, let's see how much we can see. Move all these up a little bit more so they're on the way. I got like all my stuff. I like huge mini stuff when I was doing this stuff like crazy about 2 years ago. So I kind of went crazy on their stuff. They have like texture paste where this paste like dries up and it's crack like. Let me see if I have a mini that does that. I must have one that has that. I don't know, where's all my minis? I'm not prepared for oh, you know what? I may have them underneath here. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I may have them in the little storage box. Storage box. In this storage box, give me a second to clean it because it's all covered in cat hair because I hardly touch it. Where is my hair catcher? I'm just gonna use my Swiffer duster instead. Let's get all this cat hair off it first before I open it. Spread it everywhere on my room. Okay, let me open this bad boy. Let me see if I got any minis that I use that one on. I must have used one with crack beans. Where are they? None. Okay, there's one. I have a skeleton that has it with the crack base. So pretty much as that stuff dries, the base gets cracked like that, so it looks like cracked desert ground. Looks like this one's been drying too much. Yeah, this one may have cracked too much because that's a little too much cracking as my liking. Do I have any other ones like that? No, so I think that was one of my testers for it. Yeah, I don't think I have any more with crack grounding, so I need to go test those out. I may just get a bunch of these bases and just paint that on top, or put that paste on top just to check out how they dry and make sure they're still good. Because, like I said, a lot of the stuff I purchased were from like 2 years ago. So there's a good chance a lot of my material may not be good. Like these basing stuff, like these little stones and stuff that you use as like for the base of your base before you like customize or paint over it, unless you want to just keep it the same color. They're probably all good, but I don't know if these pastes are still good. They should be airtight. Let me grab this Martian one. Okay, so that one I didn't even use it. Unless... Okay, I did open it. Oh. Oh. Yep. Is that dry? Oh yeah, it's been drying out. Okay, so yeah, even with the seal, it looks like it's been drying out a bit. Wonder if there's a way to save these. If not, I may have to, or the next time I stream, I may have to go crazy and buy a whole bunch of new material again. How about the snow one? Okay, this is just snow, so how's that one? Where did I open it? Did I not open this one? Okay, I may not open this one, so this may be still. Yeah, that looks a lot fresher. Oh, no, nope, still dry. Yeah, they may have dried out. It may have been too long. I may put those aside and I'll check after the stream, see if any of this is still useful. But yeah, I got this white powder stuff. It's just snow. Usually you just sprinkle this on top of base glue and it looks just like snow. Also, I got back here woodland. This is just like little fluff stuff, grass and fluff. They kind of make these as like little bits of sakura. I kind of like this one because it's like once it's all shaken up well again, it's like a bunch of like sakura petals on the ground, which I like. Let me see. These are just my army painter ground grits. There's like almost everyone that gets into hobby has one of these and one of those. That's just rocks. Bunch of cork pieces. I think this is a grit piece. Which company is this? Is this something 9? I can't remember what their name is. Maybe they say over here. Copyright. Yeah, Gale Force 9. But yeah, it's just another grit. I think it's the same. It's not grit. I buy a lot of kits and then I just keep all like the basing that comes with this. So I'm just like, ooh, free basing. These are big grits. This is if I want to use like a volcanic rock. This one's the ultra fine grit, so that's like basically sand-like. So it's probably like also I like to do is like you just put a bunch of basing glue on like one of these little guys, and then you just put a couple of the big rocks on there. Then you sprinkle a little bit. Oh, where did I drop that? Why is everything black on my desk? I can't see. Where did I drop it? Oh, there it is. Behind stuff. So yeah, I like like these guys because you just glue up that, and then I would probably put like a couple of these big rocks right on the middle, like off on the sides, so probably like one there, and there in the corners. Then you sprinkle a little bit of medium grit on top, and then you finish off by like just sprinkling a whole bunch of this fine dust afterwards, and then let it dry, shake off all the excess, and then you'll have like a cool volcanic round. If you want to do like a volcanic island or something like that, or like a war zone, or like destroyed asphalt kind of territory, depending on what you're painting. That's definitely my. I also got a little baggie in here. These are my 3D prints that I haven't gone around to actually painting yet. I think this is like a yarn wolf. It came in multiple parts. Yeah, it's like little yarn people writing on them. This giant, I assume it's supposed to be some kind of pancake mimic. Yeah, it's a pancake mimic. Has many mouths everywhere. Those. Bring closer. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So yeah, because I have a resin printer and I just like to print out a bunch of figurines, even though I don't end up painting them ever. I think those were my big ones I haven't gotten to, so I just left them in the drawer. Yeah, let's get on back up here. Let me readjust up back to the rest of up here. So that was my original over here, and then this is the one I repainted 2 years ago. And I went with a different color scheme and all that. This one I want to make it look more neon color. I think I don't have any black lights, do I? Nah, so I can't really show that off. But yeah, these are all like neon color paints, so pretty much he glows in the dark. Here's like his skin is muted, so it'll be really dark, but his eyes, mouth, his exposed flesh, the little wounds he has, those all glow, and then even the base and the little grass glows up too. So yeah, I should probably take a picture of that. His weapon is starting to droop. Let's see if we can fix that. And then I didn't do metallic. Nah, I just painted like a black purple, and then I never finished touching up his room to make it look nice. But eventually, I want to probably. Does he have little eyeballs? Okay, he does have little eyeballs. It's really hard to see them. I wish there's a way to make this thing all focus better. Yeah, he has little eyeballs in there. But yeah, I like painting him. It was just like nice of a revisit of like all my skills from when I first started and then to where I got to now. Yeah. Noticing I didn't do much dry brush on him, did I? Yeah, I'm more focused on the colors and the shadows more than making him dry brush so he looks like he has flesh. I mean, look like more he's sticky and stuff like that, especially how shiny he is. Could use probably a matte coat. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back to him later. What's left in here? I got the Pokeball. I think this just came from either one of the Pokemon game pre-orders or one of the trading cards. Got Ronnie over here with her hand out for marrying her. For the Ronnie and he. So is that Kirby amiibo? Yep, it sure is. So yeah, I have 2 Kirby's in there. And then I got 2 little Fallout guys. I know one I actually bought, and then one came from like a loot crate or whatever. And then little Anya with Butler, I think Butler? Why I say Butler? Bond. And that completes my little shindig back there. Readjust everything back. Let's go put these 2 back. Give these guys in here. I think I had him over here. I had him over here. I had the Pikachu behind her. Pikachu and Eevee. Actually, you know what? I think this guy was actually more in the middle, and Fat Yoshi's back here. There we go. And let's put March back here. So I know sometimes with March is she's like very top heavy, because I notice her like a lot of times I just find her in the case like that. So I try and make her. I may like get like maybe like a little piece of like flat metal put on this side, just give her more weight. Because I think the only thing holding her up probably is that just her tiny leg at angle. But yeah, she tends to top over way too much if I hit my desk accidentally or bump into it. So let's get that nice little close, shut everything together. Just put Miku back on top. Because if I can scroll up to the very top. At the top I got a little Miku, a little Sylveon, and then the Bowser set along with the Fire Flower. Not Fire, Piranha Plant. But yeah, let's get back to the main theme of the stream, which is supposed to start painting. So let me get this lined up to the top of there. Okay. So now the main goal is to figure out what I'm painting today. Because I don't know what I'm painting, but once I know what I'm painting, then we have to figure out what colors we want to do. And then back in like 2 years ago in May, I did like a challenge for myself where I painted a mini every day. And what ended up happening is, well, I think I showed off last stream when well, not last stream, like last talking stream I had like a whole bunch of different minis. I did one each day. A lot of them were like small minis, like that small. Actually, I can start grabbing some. Starting this little chest thing I have. Got to make sure I don't knock over camera stand I have in front of me. Like this one, Urbosa, I printed from Legend of Zelda. I tried to do a challenge of like painting one mini a day. She was one of the days I had. Who's from also then? Not just minis, I also did like cute little character minis too. So I got a chunk right here, wearing a little bandana, and I gave it like a little grassy, dirty base. Let's see. And a lot of them were D&D minis because I just have such a big backlog of D&D minis. So I have a Alhoon, which is a Lich version of a Mind Flayer. So pretty much a Mind Flayer that's disconnected from their like main brain. I forget what they call it. I have a name for it. But yeah, they're disconnected from their hive basically, and then they become a lich. So they're like a necromancer. It's even worse than Mind Flayer because they're a necromancer Mind Flayer, going against their own hive and stuff like that. And then they feed off other Mind Flayers to sustain themselves. I also got my little frogs. Let me pull them out because they're all inside little holes. They're the ones I like the most, and they're probably the first few I did because I each based one off a different frog. So I got this little guy that's based off like the desert frog, those little round ones you see a bunch of people make videos on all the time. They have like the little butts and stuff like that. So he's a little frog guy based off the desert toad. And I gave him pretty much a sandy base. There's this one that I based off, I think is some kind of tree frog. I forget which kind exactly. But they're on a ruin, so they're pretty much like hunting either adventurers or even players, possibly. Or you could probably make them, if you want them to be like a guide for the players. They're like, oh yeah, I'm here to take you through the jungle you're in. And then this guy I like a lot because his colors. I think he's like a fire toad. I forget which kind. But yeah, I give him very vibrant colors: blue body, but red and orange top. And then gave him kind of a swampy like base. So each one's like in their own different habitat. But yeah, those are 3 of my favorite frogs I have. I need to get more frog minis. I know Wizard made like 3 more other than those. I don't remember if I bought them or not. Now this one I liked a lot. This is my capybara mount. So if you have a small character like halfling or smaller, you give them this little mount to explore on in the game. Is there little flowers on this thing, or is that dust? I can't tell. I think that's supposed to be little flowers on the grass, like cotton balls or dandelions. Yeah, I liked him quite a lot. I had a pug one. I don't know where it went. I know it's somewhere, but it must have disappeared somewhere. What else is in here? I have this one. A Thryking that I planned on playing as a character in a campaign, but I never did, really. He's kind of a kit batch because I took like the base is original, but I took one that official like figurines, but I customized it. I think, yeah, that's not his sword. I don't think. I think that's a custom sword. He didn't come with this sword. because that's a metal sword. It actually has a sharp tip, and I think the shield is custom too. I think I took that from another mini as well. So yeah, I think I cut off the shield he was carrying, and then I kept the straps from his shield, but then gave him a worn out buckler. So he looks like a gladiator like type of character. And yeah, I like how the original model, well, fig mini came out missing one arm. I kind of worked that into a backstory. Like he's been through, pretty like he lost his whole Triking clan or tribe, and he carries the ashes of them in this jar behind him. And then he pretty much like takes them with him wherever he goes on his adventures. Yeah, I think because like there's a little hilt right there, or not his hilt, his scabbard. I even had to customize it, try and make it look like it fit his sword. Which it looks like over time it's been bending again. Maybe it was put down roughly so he didn't get that. But I really like the shading I did like on his legs and stuff. Made it look very insect-like. So I was hoping to play as this guy one day, and I kind of cheated the eyes. I just gave him like iridescent eyes, so they always look like they're shining in the darkness. But if I had to redo it, I'd probably give him like do the shading on his eyes, so it looks like it's iridescent until you look really close to it. But yeah, he's probably one of my favorite I painted. What else we got in here? This one, I think this is, I forget, this piece of junk attached to it. Let me take that off really quick. I don't know where that came from. It's not part of the base I originally had on here. I want to say it is like one of those Reaper Bone ones. Yeah, it is from Reaper Bones, I can tell from the style. And then this one I did a different paint technique than the other ones, where you paint it all black as a base, and then you do like gray dry brushing. You do like darker to lighter, but as you get lighter, you only like highlight just like the parts that should be highlighted with light and stuff like that, till you eventually get to white. And then afterwards, you use like the quick paints. So you go and get like the quick paints from like Army Painter and stuff like that, and then you just use that to color it basically, and then your shading that you did to it will just go with the colors and then give it pretty like that shaded look. Ooh, hydrate. Hey, real big oof. How you doing? Man, I've been talking a long time, haven't I? I've been talking for like 35 minutes. Oh, my drink splashed into my glasses. Sorry for a whoop. Hey, welcome in. So far, I haven't started painting anything. All I've been doing is showing off the minis I painted 2 years ago. Which I think you were in the chat when I was doing the last just chatting like segment at the end of that one stream. Just go quickly over the last few I showed off. I had Urbosa from Legend of Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom version, I believe. This was a 3D print I did, and then just put on the base. I made her really big because, like, even compared to like this Reaper mini, she's still like a head taller than her. I think she's about the same size as the 13 mini I painted. Yeah, and they're meant to be really tall too, so that kind of like gives you their scale. Yeah, I'll show off the little frogs again really quick, because I like them a lot. They're my favorites. These little frogs here. Base this one off a desert toad, that one off a jungle. Oh gosh, it's hard to point. This one's like a jungle toad, jungle frog, like a tree frog of some kind, and then this one was like a classic like venomous like frog you find in tropical jungle or something like that. So I should start pulling these guys away as I'm pulling them out, or I'm gonna forget how I had this all arranged. So those go there. Let's put, where does the king go? Up here, I think. Yeah. Osa goes here, I think. I had her. No, I think it's opposite. Osa was over here. Throy King was other place. I gotta be careful so I don't damage them. This was Alhoon, which is a lich version of a mind flayer. Very creepy. Oh yeah, he also came with these guys. Let me pull it up. Two little brains. I forget their name for these guys. It's funny, like when I'm in like my D&D mode, where I'm actively like DMing or playing a session, my D&D knowledge is like crazy, and then the second I take a break for like longer than 3 months, I forget all of it. Oh, you went away, real big wolf? Oh no. Let's go put the capybara away. Yeah, he was up there. Let's put the pig back, and I think he would just like over here, but now I put her over here. I know I got this one is the Gale Force 9 one of Minsk. I just did like a quick paint job. I don't think I ever finished cape yet because I left a lot of black on there. I think I was gonna do a gradient on there so the cape was. Find all these little hairs on stuff. Cat gets hair everywhere no matter what, or how much I clean too. This one kind of cheated because I use metallic paints and then just try to rust them up or scuff them up with some dry brushing on top. Close this case real carefully. Yeah, that was a lot of minis I painted during that little period. And what we should really be doing this stream. Oh, no, I never put that snow back in, did I? Me. I was wondering why there's so much space in here. Let's put that snow back in. Okay. The main thing I need to start doing is figuring out what to paint today. I still have, I may do something about what happened here. These Mirelurks from Fallout, I think. Yeah, I got these, but I got cleaning up and all that. But yeah, these are nicely resin molded, so like even better than just plastic injected molds or even like resin through like a 3D printer. These are resin that are injected and molded, but it dries a lot better and the resin's a little flexible, like not a lot flexible. It gives you kind of like that, unlike normal resin where you use, unless you get like the better resin from, I'm gonna try saying like the ABS like softer resin. These ones pretty much like won't fall apart or break into bits when you drop them accidentally. They're more of like a softer resin. They're more sturdy. I think these are just like their leg bits. Yeah. I need to get something to clean up all this cat hair everywhere. But yeah, problem with these ones is they require a lot of cleanup because you can see like the little strays of bits of resin from when they separated it from the mold. But I like these kind of models more. These are kind of the same quality you can get from there's like Warhammer minis and stuff like that. I don't know if they do resin ones anymore. I know they used to. They probably still do. I know a lot of times they just do the injection molded plastic now, which for some reason sometimes it'll be like less quality and sometimes better quality. So I guess it just depends. I guess since resin ones take a lot longer to make because you have to wait for a resin cure, they tend to have the molds last longer, but they cost more because of all the process you have to put in them. Or then plastic injecting molds, they just probably keep kicking them out as fast as they can until like the mold basically gets destroyed from it. Yeah, but I like those. I don't know if I want to do my alerts today because I don't know if I have the colors for them that I want. So I probably want to do game accurate colors on those. It's just Kingdom Hearts. What we listen to? Yeah. Okay. It's like my little brush stand thing I have, which I also have to check all my brushes to make sure they're good. Something I may want to do today is like these mutant hounds from. So you have like not as detailed these are to those other ones because these are PVC plastic injection molded one. It looks like oh no, Jesus, cat hairs everywhere. Yeah. Those are actually a 2-piece, but it just comes as a 1-piece because they already glue it to the base, which isn't great because like trying to get it underneath to paint it can be a pain if it's right down the base like this. I may be able to remove it and then just super glue it back onto it. Something I may do. Just use my little clippers, cut the foot, and then glue it back on. But yeah, all the ones I have like up here, these are all from the like Fallout board game set they have for Wasteland of Warfare. They give you like a whole set of minis. Don't know why they're different colors other than probably just for gameplay distinction probably. Yeah, because I think all the gray ones you could be player stuff. And then I guess all the green ones are this was I think this is a promo one I got from a friend, Nuka Girl. Yeah, Nuka Cola Girl. Based off the Nuka Cola Girl from all the like Fallout little ads and stuff like that. This is different. Ooh, Super Mario RPG. This one I liked a lot. Deck Claw. How'd you get? Okay, that was just a little piece of dirt on you. Man, I'm getting just cat hair all over my hands. This one I may want to paint one day too. Wonder, are these just shiny because they're mold, or maybe I have to wash these? Because they may have like leftover residue and stuff from the mold. You have to wash off. And same with this one, they attach all these to the base, but I could probably remove it from base and then glue it back on. Is his arm? Yeah, his arm was also not part of the original mold on that one. So it's like this body, this arm, and then the base. It's the legs, no seam lines. Oh, also the head looks like it has seam lines. Yeah, even the head was its own. That's interesting. Deck Claw, probably not gonna be a project I want to do next. I kind of want to ease my way back into painting again, get used to it. But I got 2 of the hounds, so that makes me kind of want to do the hounds today. Are they the same mold? Nope, they're different molds. Okay. Yeah, because the good thing with them is I could do 2 different kind of styles and see which one I like. And then which one I like more, I can always buy the like resin version of these and then paint them the way I enjoyed more. And then I can have like a whole bunch of these. Oh, hey, Malta. Sorry if I'm not reading chat too. Did I miss it? Okay, no. You just commented on that. Problem is, like, I have to stare over here, but my monitor's like way over there. I have to look at chat. I wonder if, let me try to pop out chat really quick and make it bigger on this screen on the side. So I could notice it more. See, this may be better. Hey Malta. Also, hi everyone. And think about like waving to the chat. You could potentially put your phone on top of the shelf. Oh, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm a flesh tuber now. You can see my hands. My hands that work a lot. You can see my cat scratches. Or if I want to be cool, you can see my scars from deep combat I'm always in. you like to see Twitch chat. But yeah, so far I'm going through. I went through a couple monitors. Oh, you know what? Just so you get to see it, Multa. Here's my little display case I have above all my mini stuff, with some of my collection of like figurines and stuff. So yeah, and then I got like Jobstone Final Fantasy. That's my VR headset right there. Switch controllers. But we're more focused on the minis today. I have to reset this and make sure it's lined up correctly before I tighten it. There we go. Yeah, Miku. One of my many Mikus. Many Mikus. But yeah, I'm thinking I may be painting these guys only because I'm trying to ease myself back into painting again. And they seem to be not too superly detailed, so I can get away with some mistakes on them. I may have to find out how to detach them from their bases, because the ways they came in the board game for this, they were attached to the base, like super glued in, it looks like. So I gotta remove them. And I got a bunch of like 3 different super mutants back here. Drop one. These are all from Fallout. Like all of these back here. Because about a year ago, I think shortly before the TV show came out, I was like kind of in a Fallout kind of like mood, and I was like, what if I just painted a bunch of Fallout minis? And I'm like, yeah, I should do that. And I bought a couple, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna start painting these, but then I never did. And then I bought more, and then I kept buying more, and then I just bought way too many, and now I have like all these down here. Like each of these boxes, they say these little numbers on them, they contain like 1 or more mini. Like I have this one for Frank Corrigan from the Enclave on Fallout 2, I believe he's in. But yeah, he's like a big mini, so he's 1 mini in a box. A lot of these come like 2 to 3. Some of them come with a lot, depending on the kit. Like this, like Caesar Legion one, comes with 6 minis in there. Usually, like if it's like humanoids, they come with a lot, and then as you get into like the robots or like special characters, they come in very few. Make sure not to knock these all down. I don't know why I'm holding these while trying to hold that. Also, yay, 7 stream streak! Thanks, Malta, for showing up all the time. This, if anyone was wondering what this is, like one of my little handles to hold my mini as I paint it. Let me just separate this. These have like blue tack on them. That's how you stick the mini on. It gets really sticky if you just play with it a little bit. And then you can just like stick this guy on there. And the nice part is, since it's just like a little rounded base like that, it could be like, well, I'll be using it this way since I'm dominantly painting with my right hand. You could like be painting, and then you could just adjust and move just with your thumb and finger. So you kind of like keep moving around. It's just a nice way to paint, pretty much. And that's pretty stuck on. Like once I stick it on there, you can hold it upside down. You can shake it. It's not gonna come off. Like yeah, it's not gonna fly off or anything like that. Unless you're using like a metal mini. I have some minis that are made out of metal. Those will probably fly off if I'm shaking it like that violently. But yeah, the blue tack stays pretty good. Funny enough, I bought like multiple packs of these because at one point I was like, what if I get all my friends into painting minis? So I have like several of these handles just sitting around in my house somewhere. It has like a little magnet base, so I can just attach it there. But I think this my little board here, show dice. Alright, I guess I can show dice. Like I think right here in this board, I had a magnet to it. So if we move all these guys off real quick, it's just magnetically attached to my thing because it has one of these. Yeah, it's red grass that makes this one. Just holds it in place. So if I ever want to just put it down, I can do that, or I can just put it on the side up here, wherever. Posture check too. Oh gosh, Too many redeems. I wonder how far I can make this. Also looking down. I may have to get a new arm because, like, my face is really in the screen right now. And that's why I have to keep looking over just to read chat. And my screen right up here is just my iPhone. Because, like, my main plan was, like, when I'm actually painting, I have it pointing down like this. And then I can have it back like this as well. Like, this is probably, like, a good position right here. Because it kind of lets you see most of it, the mat. Probably want to get, like, the whole mat in. So, probably, like, this would probably be a good painting position. Yeah, this is my spare iPhone. The same one I use for when I am with Lux and we do, like, a V2 collab. And then this is what I use to record my face and do the little cats I have for V2 models. But dice. Let me take a drink. Time to get my dice back, which means let's move all this up here. Actually, let's go back into that position I was just talking about. How's that look? Wait for it to adjust on stream. Okay, that looks fine. Alright, let me... Does that have a problem? Other than all my other problems of, like, collecting games and other stuff, cards, figurines, toys. I have a dice problem too, so this is my big old dice bag. It's the crit roll one you can get from their shop. The, like, Laurel Bailey bag of dice that's covered in cat hair because my cat likes rubbing up against it. And inside is all my dice that I have, which is, oddly enough, this isn't a lot of dice compared to a lot of people who buy this bag in real life. I tend to have my dice all separate, so I got my little Animal Crossing bag. I got this from, I think, Best Buy for pre-ordering New Horizon. They gave you a little bag. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna put my dice in there. So since I plan on having this redeem used a lot, I'm not gonna show off all my dice, but we could show off some of my dice. Like, let's go, what's in here currently? I got my big pink D20. Oh, I want to roll something big. Yeah, it's a big one. Oh, wait, why is Pet Snuffles on there? I thought I disabled all my Fallout ones. Sorry, Carver, we can't pet Snuffles. Mostly because I don't have a mole rat. That's something I need to do. I need to get a mole rat one so I can paint the little Snuffles and then I can pet Snuffles. Pink! Yeah, Molta, you're gonna learn that I like color pink. I mean, this little brush rinser from Green Stuff World, that you, like, dip your brush in this little pool right here. They make it, but it usually comes green, but I waited till they had a special pink edition and I bought that one instead. No, people are so... no stems! I don't have any stems! I'm trying to turn this off. There's too much scuff. Also, I already mentioned earlier that more likely than not, I'm not gonna paint anything today because I'm probably gonna end up just talking the whole time, which is the streamer way I learned from Lux so far. Virtually pet Snuffles. Okay, let's pretend this is Snuffles for now. It's kind of mole rat shape. That's a good Snuffles. There, now I don't have to refund Kai because he got his pet Snuffles. Also, sorry if my hands look like they're all dried out. They're not really dried out, I just have eczema, so right now I'm having a flare-up season. Usually when the weather gets really hot or cold, or if it rains a lot, that's usually what happens to me. Yeah, it's really easy not to do stims right now. I don't have any stims to worry about. But let's get back to dice. So I got my big D20. That's a good roll. That wasn't a good number, but good roll noise. Man, I'm doing a bit bad. Can I roll anything above a 10? Okay, there we go. We got 20. I created after a bunch of failures. What's in here? I think I have these ones. I forgot what store I bought these from, but I think these are like old school game related. So that's a potion. That's a key. Ooh, that's a different set right there. Ooh, let's not show you all my dice. Streamer lock. This is my green flame one. So I was a fan of Penny Arcade and their D&D series stuff. Whoa! Did you just... How many did you just gift me? Oh, you gifted one sub, okay. Whoa, thanks for the gift, Kyber. Molto, you just got another sub again. But yeah, I got my little green flame one. I liked using this one. I was a fan of Penny Arcade. And their main mage in that one is Jim Dark Magic, played by Mike Krolik. And he always uses green flame, so I got this dice. Let's see, let me take my dice off screen. Let's look at my favorite dice. Oh, now this is a really good dice. Most people don't get this dice. I don't know why. This is a D2. I think I got this as a Kickstarter reward for dice I kickstarted because I just spend too much money on random dice that I don't need. But this is a D2, and the way it works is you flip it, and then it's either heads or tails. The best dice anyone can have in their dice bag. Because if you ever have a problem, and a lot of people go like, oh, well, let's just roll 1 to 10 or 11 to 20 to solve the problem. Like, no, hold on, I got a D2. And then you can look cool in front of all your friends. Your D2. Gosh, there's so many dice in here. This bell bag of mine, this is like my main dice bag that I use. Ooh, let me show off this one. This one, I don't think I have a full set because I think from the company I bought these dice from, they're like, I did a bag of random dice just to check out how their dice look. And this one's the cat dice. So each number is represented by the fishes, or the eaten fishes, and then Grumpy Cat is a 6. And I don't even know what's in there. Let me look closer. My eyes up here. Can't even tell what's in there. Oh, there are like little tiny cats in there, like 2 tiny glitter cats. I don't know if I can get a good angle of them. But yeah, they're kind of like glitter cats inside there. Yeah, that one kind of looks like it. It's like the paint's kind of obscuring exactly where they are, so it doesn't look well. Camera. What else we got in here? Do I have any more pink dice? I must have. Ooh. Oh, this is a special dice. This is one of those liquid core ones. Let me see if I can get. Yeah. If I shake up enough, because I think it all settled down in there. Get the glitter. Yeah. And then if you roll it, you can see the glitter like shift and move inside. So let me move it and then pick it up. Then you just watch the glitter shift and move inside it. It's pretty cool. There's always weird things with these because problem with trying to get whoa, no one redeemed first yet. Yeah, problem with these ice is if you live in somewhere that gets cold like enough for water to freeze, everyone knows when water freezes it expands. So a lot of times people buy these dice and get shipped to them in really cold winter seasons, and then they'll get the dice, show up, and they'll crack it and explode before they show up to your house, which sucks. That's why I live in a nice warm climate, so I never have to worry about this dice ever getting destroyed. Hero, you didn't get all your firsts today? Why do you need to get all your firsts? I got this like strawberry cream one. Tiny D20. It's just like classic Chessex dice. A lot of times you'll find like, sometimes you can't find a set of these, but you'll find them in like those little bins at like cons where they have like a cup of dice where you could like either scoop a cup of dice or you could pick dice out of a huge barrel full of dice. Yeah, you should only buy these in the summer and then keep it somewhere where it'll be above freezing temperature. Which I like. Just give a nice little shake and watch it swirl. Actually, let's just drop it and make a. Yeah, and you can see it really glitter swirl in there. This is really nice because like when you throw it across and you just like watch it, you can see like it like swirl around inside. I don't know if I can pick up fast enough to. Yeah, not fast enough to. But yeah, it's just mesmerizing to look at. I also like how there's a little air bubble stuck in there. Alright, what else we got in dice? Let's show off a couple more. Look, I may be showing off a lot of dice right now, but I really am not. Because I have so many dice in here. It wasn't dice I like to use a lot. Where is it? Oh, well, these dice is digging through my dice bag to find the dice I like. So, I don't know why Lux hasn't thought of this, just having like a dice redeem. I know she has a lot of dice too. What we got here? No, where? Do I not have this dice in here anymore? Did I put it somewhere else? I must have it in here somewhere. Where is it? Where's it? I just don't want to find my dice so you see them all. Where'd it go? It must be in here somewhere. Oh, I can't find it, but here's one of those. I think they call it, like, Japanese leaves in the wind. It's supposed to be like in fall times in Japan where you see all those like red leaves everywhere, and then it's supposed to be like them blowing in the wind. I'm supposed to have like D20 like that. I don't know where it went though. I would try and go for one, the rarest place in trophy, Fortnite. Oh, you're playing on PlayStation. We're finally down to only 33 play missions, 1,000. See, I used to be one of those people that tried to go crazy. I know we have those here in Malta too, but they specifically said this was a Japanese dice. So we're going with it. But yeah, achievement hunting something I used to do a lot. And then I realized I've been wasting too much time achievement hunting. There's a lot of times where I'll buy games specifically on PlayStation Network just to get the Platinum Trophy. But nowadays I'm just like, I should just buy that on Steam so I could play it more on my PC than on my PS5. But I remember like I used to get, what I do is like games that do like cross progression. I would a lot of times play those on PC and then just log on my PS5 to get the achievements. It's like Honkai Star Rail and stuff do that. Now it's like, yay! I can play on my computer and then just log on my PS5 every now and then and get a bunch of achievements unlocked. To make myself feel good about it. Do I have any more dice? I'll show off this one. It's a nice little simple chesic dice, but I like how it's half red, half blue, especially right on the line too. And I like how 1's on the red side, but 20's on the blue side. So you're like, this is the bad side, but this is the good side. It's my good and bad dice. And I already know like the outcome, which color is on side. I don't know, like, well, we didn't get a crit, but at least we didn't fail. We got a 19 on the red side. Alright, let me start putting my dice away. Too many dice. That's all my bill bag. Well, not all my bag. That's a lot of my bill dice. Let me tie it back up. I don't remember how this was tied before, but there's a way you could tie it and have like the nice little loops like how it looks like in game. But the information's lost on me. Did I say it somehow? I don't know how well this is coming out on the screen. Hopefully it doesn't sound horrible. Alright, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing. Talking about. I have to adjust my position on this chair so nice sitting up. There's also a weird way. I never really face my desk this way. I'm always like facing towards my monitors over here. So it's just a whole awkward use, because even when I was painting, I always painted like here where all my main desk stuff's on this side. Okay, yeah, you're doing the same thing where you play on PC and then pops on PlayStation Network. Plus, if you do all the achievements and then wait till you log on PlayStation, then suddenly you could pop it, and then it tells you like, oh, it only took you 3 minutes to get platinum in this game. But what we should be focusing on today is what minis to paint, or at least what minis should I start painting, and then we can start painting them next session. Because we're already an hour in. I plan to hopefully wrap up around 9 o'clock, so we still got a good couple hours to go. I am leaning towards those big mutant hounds, but let's see what else I have to paint. I think I got, where are these guys? I got these from my friend when they went to a con. Oh. Found another mini. It's a little mushroom guy, but he's wearing a little Halloween spooky coat on him, so it's a mushroom guy covered. Oh, this cat hairs everywhere. A little mushroom guy, but he's a little spooky now. Did I increase the brightness on this accidentally? Why does the light seem so harsh? Let me turn it down. My janky lighting system I have right now. What? Oh, this is a spear getting caught on by light. I feel like it wasn't that strong, was it? Okay, there we go. A little spooky mushroom guy wearing a spooky Halloween costume. Yeah, he's supposed to be a ghost. A little spooky ghost guy. Bring this back up here. What's up here? Why do I have cards here? Where are these from? Oh, is this Kanto Tour? That's something else. Yeah, Kanto Cure right there. Did I say Kanto Tour? Kanto Cure? I guess these are promos I got when I was at an event, or maybe this, my friend gave me these that came with these they went to a con for. Funny thing about this game is a game about making the best like maid hotel. So pretty much you play these maid cards, that's why they're labeled as like private maids and stuff, and then you try to get the most hearts compared to everyone else. We need to do a Kanto Tour right now. Everyone put a Pokemon. But yeah, my friend got me these little figures, minis, which funny enough I didn't open these, I don't think. To see what they actually look like. Assuming they're just resin figures. Yeah, they look like it. But they use soft resin, so you could bend them and probably drop them, they won't break. What's this one supposed to be? What's it say on here? Mummy Lord? Let me see. Let's bring this light a little closer and make it a little brighter. See if we can see details on this thing more. Okay, yeah, doesn't look too bad. Like the hair detail they did. It has like necklace detail. Okay, yeah, that came out pretty well too. I'm always interested like how well resin prints come out. Like this one looks like it's injected resin. I'm sure if we look somewhere around here we could see the ejection point. A lot of time, yeah, because definitely injecting resin, you can see like where the excess is right there and you have to clean it up. Maid dress time. Maybe if I make a throne and make it like a sub goal and have people buy me a maid dress first and then make it as like some kind of goal to wear a maid dress. I don't know how that's gonna work because I don't know if I'm gonna show over my whole body off on stream. Yeah, I guess this is a pirate captain. What do they call this one? Captain Drakov Pirate. I wonder what 18. I guess that's the model or mini number. Reckons collectibles. Oh, there's only 5,000 of these. That's same with Otterbox. Oh yeah. So I guess these are limited edition. But yeah, nice little pirate mini. Makes him useful in the like nautical campaign. If you ever need like a pirate captain or something like that. Maybe I do require a goal. If we don't put goals out, Malta, then what are we streaming for? For all your entertainment? Am I just here to entertain you? Yeah, probably. Maybe I can. Let's go. Let me put this magnet. Oh no, I lost my warrior job stone. Oh no, it went all the way underneath my desk. 1 second while I go down and grab it. Can't see it. Blind. Let me grab my actual phone. There it is. Oh, turn off my lights. Alright, let's put that back in its place. Can't lose my main job stone. Even though I say I'm Tinkerbell, I'm mainly a warrior in Final Fantasy. So a lot of these I haven't opened yet. I think this is the most recent one I got. Bottle and Cappy. Let's turn that down so the glare isn't as strong on it. I think this is based off Nuka-Cola World. But I like how they have like weapons and stuff, so I guess they're mascots that are alive somehow. What else we got here? Okay, there's the one I remember from the game, Nira. So I guess this must be part of like the Wasteland Warfare sets. What do they say on the back? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so this is from Fallout Factions. This is from Wasteland Warfare, which I think was what they did first, and then they made a new mode called Fallout Factions, which is basically how most people play the miniature game for Fallout now. It's my little NCR Ranger I plan on painting, and I like NCR Ranger so much that I bought 2 of them. I opened this one just to make sure all the quality of the resin's good, which I should really open these, make sure the resin is good quality, because once in a while you can get like little air bubbles, and you could fix it with like green stuff. Like, where's my liquid green stuff I just had? I was just playing with it before stream. Where's my green stuff? There it is. You can use this stuff, and this one's kind of a little separate, so I have to like shake it up and get back in good form. But you use that to fill in gaps and stuff like that, and then you can sand over after it dries. So that's one way to get rid of the bubbles. But I think this company, which I think is Modifius, yeah, there you are. They're pretty good, and I think you could just contact them if you ever buy one of their minis and just not complete. Just take a picture, send it to them, and then they'll just send you the replacement parts you need, or a replacement mini if it's like the whole mini's bad. They're pretty cool about it. Let me see. I want to make sure I don't have any Discord messages. I want to make sure they're okay. Okay, they're okay. And this one, Joshua Graham, or the Burn Band, as you find out he is in Fallout New Vegas. He's one I really want to paint too. I really like his character story and all that in the game, so he's definitely on top of my list to get done. These 2 are probably the main ones I want to paint, but I want to get back into painting first before I do anything, so by making mistakes or I don't like the way I'm painting, I don't have to restart it by another mini just to make it look better again. I guess I could also try strip the paint from them too, but that's a lot of work. Okay, bye Kyber. Get a good rest in. So who else I have on here? I got these big boxes up here that I recently got. These are the ones based off the TV show. What do you get in this kit? So you got like Maximus, you got Lucy, you got the Ghoul. This one also comes with a Mr. Handy and Dog Meat. Or what's their name in the series? Like CX404? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I guess that is Snip Snip. That was just a random Mr. Handy, but I guess not. Got that one. I also got, I think, the original one that came out with the show. Oh, it was a hero set. Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is a newer one. Oh, the original one's down there. Oh my god, I gotta move all these minis around. Yeah, this one I opened just to make sure it all looked good. Just slowly divide, move everything out of the way, just so I could pull these out. This was the original. So this set right here, this is the PVC version, so they're kind of a little bit as like not as detailed. Because I guess when you do the injection PVC molding, doesn't keep all the details that well. But these ones are more detailed because they're the resin ones. And in this set, looks like, yeah, there's no snip in this set. Just get the same 4 from that set. Yeah, I plan on probably doing that set too. I just have too much minis to paint. This is my problem. I keep buying minis and then being like, I'm gonna paint this, and then I never do. That's the point of these streams, to finally get through my backlog again. And having people watch me kind of forces me to do stuff. Except for today, because I doubt we're actually gonna start painting today. And funny enough, I haven't even started going through all my other minis I have. I have a whole big box of D&D minis. I have over 100 minis I haven't painted from D&D and stuff like that. And I have a whole bunch of resin printed minis I did myself. It's just, it's a bad time for me. I keep getting new minis and not painting. Let's see what's in this. Oh, let me move these real quick. Is this the Mirelurk one? Okay, so that's the one that I have in my cup over here. What's this one? Looking at. Oh, you know what? This may be like turds or something. I think they label like anyone that are scenic one, they don't label. Yeah, these are like little mini turrets or like set pieces on the display if you want to make one, or you can use them as like turrets in the actual like board tabletop game they have. So I got those to go through too. When I do want to show off like some of the really big ones, these ones cost quite a bit. But they're like the super detailed, huge, like giant mutant ones. Let me see. These ones, they come in, they're just like plastic baggies, like what's your stuff like this. And, like main mini comes in like this bubble wrap just to keep it safe. And they're a whole different kind of resin because they're more highly detailed and stuff like that. So this is a super mutant behemoth, but this one's based off the Swan from Fallout 4. Why is this like? I'm gonna go a step higher. Okay, there we go. This one's really detailed. The Swan's covered in a bunch of swan bolt parts from the lake. You can see the little swan head right there. God, I think this is just the legs. Yeah, it's weird that they make him out of two different resin parts still. Like this one, it's a lighter resin, and his top part is a darker resin for some reason. Weird, huh? But he's definitely one I want to do as well. Oh, this little crinkly. I think this is more of just chatting in like a ASMR-esque stream now. Before I figure out what I want to do with these kind of days. I'm thinking maybe keeping them Monday. So I know a lot more people are free on Monday, and also a lot of people I know don't stream on Monday. So I don't have to worry about missing anyone's streams. Let's get you back up there. Which way was the box? Okay, it was this way. Just so I can read them when they're up here. If I do start painting, we're gonna start painting these guys. So I don't care too much about them if I mess them up, and it'll help me kind of ease my way back into painting again. These are mutant hounds. So the thing is now is we gotta figure out what colors we're painting them. Let me see if I can pull up on screen a mutant hound. Just see their colors. And Fallout. I want to say they're like greenish yellow, right? The ones from Fallout 4. That's not a good picture. Okay, yeah, they're like more green. Their base kind of looks like it's like orange, fleshy color with a little green on top. Let me see if I can copy this image and paste it in the stream. I just like paste right here, right? Maybe then copy the image. Maybe I have to save it as an image. There we go. Let's put it back downloads. And let me open that folder so I can just drag and drop. Oh man, my whole like right side of my desk that I just had cleaned up and ready to go, so it's nice and tight. Now it's just covered with half the stuff. I'm just moving off screen just so it's on screen with everything else. Okay, there we go. Now we can see it. So that's a mutant hound right there. So that's the kind of color I'm looking for. So greenish, a little bit reddish. I may do red as the full-on base, then followed by like yellowish orange, and then probably a lot of dry brushing of greens and stuff. So yellow and green, probably dry brushing on top. It's probably a good way to make it look that way. I'll keep it like up here in this corner so you can see what it looks like without. Actually, let me see if I got another picture to use. This may be better. Let me save this image. Oh, gotta save it as PNG. Let me grab that one. Okay, that's better. Since I have a background fused with it. So that's what we're going for today. Painting that. Let me put like right on top of the chat. And right underneath the chat too, so you guys can talk over it. So that's what we're looking to paint today. Wonder if they have teeth and stuff bare, right? So that one, his teeth's definitely bared. Make sure I'm like better. There we go. And try to get this like above more to what I'm trying to paint. There we go. This one's more snarly, so that's closer to the one we're looking at right now. So I'll probably print this one first. So the problem is, I want to paint underneath him well, but these came glued to their base. So let me see, trying to see like where they're. So that foot's not attached, about the front feet. So that one's definitely attached. Is this one left off? Like, so that's not attached. So it looks like it's just this one back here and this one up here that are attached. And I wonder if there's a way to like yank it out of the joint while breaking it. Which probably not, because they probably super glued them in place. So I may have to take a knife and cut those off, and then later we're gonna glue it back onto the base with super glue. So that means we need a tool like this cute little bear thing I got from like one of those Daiso stores. And it's just a little knife, little craft knife. And let's just get underneath his foot like that. We're just gonna gently just ease back and forth until that detaches from the base without damaging the base or the foot. I think we're almost there. Feel it. Just want to get him right off the base. There, so that's one foot good. Now we got this one. This one's a little harder because it's like the little claws right there are attached too much to it. Let me do this. Sorry if the mic's making noise as I move this right next to where the camera is. Hopefully I don't have to keep seeing. So I'm having an issue where I'm seeing like the shadow from the webcam from my iPhone camera. There we go. Now we're not getting the shadow anymore. So I just need to get down in that somehow. I just don't like how they put so close to that, like that part. Just like to lift it, kind of push it this way. You can see how it kind of separates. Try to get a good light too. Alright. There, it's kind of separating right there. So just need to get underneath that, and that may not even be like, I don't think it's, yeah, it's not peg like this one where it's a peg back here. I think that just maybe just glued on like that. Let's do it like this. Get behind it. Kind of just like ease our way up and in, and see if we can just like lift and pull it out as we go upwards with the blade right here. Remember, don't do this at home. This is dangerous, kids. You know, I don't think any kids should be watching this. Ow. Got my finger. I'm fine. I'm fine? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. I got enough callus on my finger, so I don't have to worry. There you go. Yep, that's good. Yeah, it was just, oh, no. Ah! I'll just hold that till it closes. Yeah, so, okay, there was a peg in there too, and then you can see like the leftover super glue and all that. These are, hey Lux, welcome in. These aren't, these came from the Fallout like board game they have for Wasteland Warfare. Actually, I have it down here. Let me try and see if I can pull it out. So these are like the pre-assembled minis that come with this one. I'm also, no, my chopstones. I'm using this mostly just because it comes with a bunch of minis. I got this like super cheap when it was on sale at in our store. Like 20 bucks, I think, or something like that. Just to get like the 12 minis that come in it. And then just use them as like testers for painting stuff. So yeah, all these minis, actually I could move the light back into position where I want it. Just give it a little softer vibe. So all the minis up here, Lux, those are all the ones that came inside it, all these green and gray ones. And give me 1 second. Go grab the dropstones that just fell. Keep nudging stuff on here. Just nudge the camera again. Just put them back into order. Warrior, Paladin, Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, and White Mage. I am a jobstone. They took our jobstone. So today we're drinking Alani New Witch's Brew. I need to get used to pointing this straight at the camera. Alani New Witch's Brew. Candy apple flavor. Also, hero, those are my favorite kind of jokes to make. Oh, you know I didn't show off this big. I didn't show off this thing. Ah! Why do I keep doing that? Hydrate? But I just drank the witch's brew. Now I have to drink it again, hero. I need to find a way to keep these magnets not falling off. Maybe one day I'll just learn to not hit them over. But this is some cool stuff right here. So this is B&J's brush cleaner and preserver. This is really good like soap for your like hair brushes if you have any. Because it helps like give them back their shape they had. Oh my god, look at this cat hair everywhere. Get rid of all the cat hair. It'll pretty much like both kind of like move the hairs back into their original position while also like cleaning out all the like acrylic paints and stuff on the file. There's a lot of dust on it too. But yeah, this is good stuff. And you don't even need a lot, like you just wet your brush, you rub on there until it starts getting foamy, and then you pretty much like wash it off, and then make sure you twirl your brushes so they get a nice fine point before you let them dry, and then pretty much your brushes are like new. And it's better to do that instead of wasting a bunch of money on rebuying brushes once their hairs get all frayed and stuff like that. So this is my other tin. Cherry Blossom is just all it is really is a bunch of little foam like things, but it looks nice when you put on the base. That's all what this foliage is. I like having that because I can make like a cherry blossom tree or something like that. But now we're gonna focus on painting this guy today. You can see how it is. Didn't really damage claws it. Okay, claws are fine on him. You won't notice that. But the main thing is now he's separate, so I can now paint them a lot easier time. Grab one of these guys. Let's get that nice little rip there. And it's good because now I can like play with it a little bit, make it a little more sticky on the glue tack. And now I could, depending on like how I want to paint him, like if I want to start with underside, just put him on there and just hold on to him any direction with my little handle. And then yeah, we can start painting on him. But before we even start painting on him, you know what we have to do? We need to start figuring out the colors we need for him. So now we're on to the first actual phase of, other than prepping a mini before we paint it, which I should probably wash him off really quick too, just in case there's any like leftover excess oils or anything from the molding process. Is we gotta find the colors we want. Oh yeah, I never hydrated. Let me drink my drink again. That's for you, Peter. So give me a second because I have to get my paints now. I have a lot of paints. I know you've seen the minis I painted before, Lux. So the goal today is to do one like the one I have right in the chat text right now. This guy. Do one pretty much accurate to what it looks like in game. So maybe, like, I don't know if I, do you know I can use an example? Let me go back into my little display case up here, which you haven't seen yet, Lex. Well, actually, no, you've seen this in real life. But let me tighten this down so that's in the right spot for right now. Let me go move Miku again. Pull these two minis out. You can just sit right there. So I don't know if I want to go like more realistic flesh looking, like with this ogre, where you can kind of see like his flesh more has like a skin tone to it. Where's all this cat fur coming from? I should clean this one too. So yeah, I don't know if I want to go for like a more fleshy look like this guy, or make it more kind of like cartoony like how this one looks. But they're two good examples I have right next to me, because I feel like this will work with them kind of like how they look like in game, where they have this kind of like shiny like skin texture to it. But yeah, those, I'll probably just hold on to those outside my game, my little display case here, just so I could compare and then decide which way we want to go. Plus we have both models, like both of the mutant hounds from the game, so I can choose one or the other. So to answer your question, probably both. We could probably go both realistic or wacky. Yeah, so realistic or wacky. Realistic, wacky, realistic, wacky. Okay, enough of that. Let's get this back pointed down on my workspace area. Try and line it up so it looks good. Hands off. Try not to hit that while I'm working. So let's move this more. Let's put them each in a corner basically. And actually, you know what? Put them up here. So I want to now pull down all my paint. And hopefully I don't knock anything over, damage anything when I take my paint down. It's kind of heavy. There we go. May have to clear away quick. Let me see. Let me put this on my chair. Another thing I didn't think about when doing the stream is making sure I have enough desk space. I probably should have just used my main desk space over here, over there. But we're dealing with what we got. Let me see, can I put this down here without knocking anything over? And will you be able to see it all? I don't know. Ooh. What am I hitting? Hitting something. Ah, it's a stand for camera. Darn. Let me see if I can move my water thing over really quick. Come on, brush rinser. Let's move you over to the desk. Let's move this down right here. Okay. Let me see if I can adjust this camera out. So these, okay. Come on. Get just further out than a minute, right? I know you can see Twitch for a second. Can I just come out even further? Yes, I can. Okay, there. You can kind of see my bookshelf on the side. Alright, let me try to tying this all down while we I'll try to find the perfect paint. Tying down each one of these joints before I can hook up the camera. Okay. Okay, that's good. Alright, so these are all my paints. I think these ones are the Bones ones. This is from Reaper, I believe. Yeah, Reaper Minis. I just got speed paints. I got a bunch of pot paints that are from pretty much Warhammer, but I put them in droppers so the paint lasts longer, it doesn't dry out. Got these are, you know, they're official D&D ones. I think they're just army paints. Should say it says, yeah, army painter right there. So yeah, I have a whole bunch of paints to deal with now. Which colors we're looking at on that dog thing or the mutant hound? Probably want to go like colors in this range right here. So what we got here? This is Trent Green, Putrid Slime. We're probably gonna want that. I do little dabs on top of them, so you kind of see like what the color looks like once it dries. I may have to redo something because this one looks like it's chipping off. Yeah, so I have to probably redo that one. Make that here. Angelic Yellow. Yeah, that looks good. Looks a little white. What says Ancient Mummy? Maybe use that as a highlight. This one's probably gonna be a good one. Ogre Skin. We can probably use that above like the reddish base. Which I think I may use this one for. What's this one called? Cinnamon Red. I think this was a holiday color they had from Reaper Minis. So yeah, I'll probably make that the base then. Of course, we need primer. Or primer, right? No? Oh yeah, that's very primer. I had a big thing of primer. Where my primer go? Was it up here? There's my brush on primer. Okay, so we got prime the mini first. Don't think I'll use any my speed paints today. Oh, you like how it's well organized? Yeah. So one thing I wish I did was organize it. Like I have it kind of sorted by brands and stuff like that. But I kind of like have this part up here that's kind of weird. Like these are your grays and like neutral colors. These are all my metallics that I'm trying not to ever use again. Yeah, you got these shades. I don't know why I have purple down here. It's probably because I ran out of space to put the other colors. But I kind of like try to keep them in a uniform way. Plus have them separate by brand. What's this? Is this a brush cleaner? Okay, yeah. So I think I got this. But then I ended up getting that because someone recommended that soap thing. And then now I'm never going to use this because that soap stuff is much better. And I have these little drawers. What's in here? Okay, these are like the what palette sheets I have. Oh wow, I have little pot paints in here too. These came with like those paint take at home paint kits, but I never use them. I wonder if any of this paint's still good because I feel like I don't know if it's airtight seal. They may still be good. There's a whole bunch of extra paints I have right there. And then my little baggies of blue tack and orange tack. Pretty much same stuff. I got foam in here. I got my little metal ball bearings that are stainless steel so they don't rust the paint. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I can turn this down a little bit right here. Let's see. Also, no, this isn't something weird. This is like if you ever work in a lab or something like that, this little mixers that like vibrate. I got them just so I don't have to like keep shaking my things up. Secure like the little ball in there. I put like 2 balls in each one and then I could just hold it on this and that's just way more shaking than I could do basically. So this is also probably doing a lot. I don't know how loud that is compared to me. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing that for a good while. I'll probably just like hold this in my lap while I'm talking and then like have this way off screen so you don't hear it. But yeah, we gotta shake up all these paints because they've been sitting there for quite a while. But let's go to, I keep nudging this king. My other drawer, which is another drawer of shame. Something got stuck there. Don't want AMD's break. And now I also have more basing stuff, which I should probably move to that other thing. Let me take these out of here. These should go into my basing shelf here. I think these came from like a basing starter kit, which is just a lot more same basing stuff I have in my first drawer. Oh, right. Oh, I remember why I got these. These are just little jewel eyes, but I got them for like my Zaku's and stuff, so I can replace the eye with one of these. And then when you shine like a camera light on it, it glows. Look, it's a little graph tufts. Just a little starter pack of them. Yeah, let me take all this place. Ooh, moss. I don't know if I had. Ooh, it comes with 3 different colors. That's interesting. That's a bunch of fun moss basing stuff we can play with. And then I know Lux is gonna recognize this. I think this is a bigger Kogoth I did that I haven't painted yet. So I wanted to do like a newer version of him. This is grass I tried to make, like blue nanic grass. Yes, Kogoth. Kogoth's back. I think it's all dried up, so it's all clumped and crappy, but I tried to take a bunch of grass and make it blue by adding a lot of blue paint to it. But now this stuff, I probably should throw this away because they're just all clumping glued together. So put that in the trash can. You know, what do I got? Oh. Lux. Look who it is. Covering cat hair. It's the mini of your character that I never painted. And I should have just gave it to you. Or maybe one day we could have a collab stream and then we just paint minis and then you can finally paint this mini too. That's the quality of high detailed resin right there. Really good resin paint. Oh my god. Trying to get all this cat hair off it. It's funny because like these drawers were closed and everything, but somehow Eddie's cat fur just finds a way onto everything. But yeah, that's a high quality print right there. I even have this one. I think this is an even bigger, like Luna from Helva Boss that I haven't painted yet. I just have a bunch of stuff that I just never paint. What's this? Oh! Look, it's Thimble. The 3D model I did of Thimble. From that, I forget which server is it, Hero Forge I think? Where you can like make your own little 3D models. But yeah, before we get this off, we got like little whoopers in here too. What are these little whoopers? The Paldean whoopers too. They have the bones. There's a normal whooper. Okay, look at that happy little guy. There, I'm supposed to paint them because I got not quite sorry. Quadsire, the giant Quadsire I printed out. That all those little whoopers go in these little holes. And you can kind of see like where I use green tack or some other stuff to fill in the gaps because he had a couple air bubbles in, or defects in him that I had to fix. I need to sand these down so they're nice and smooth. But yeah, all those little whoopers go in there, and you could tell I was testing colors because I only did like his bomb shade on here just to see how it shows up through the blue. But then I'm like, okay, I really need to prime this model because it's gonna be too many layers if I try to do my thin coats on there. But yeah, that's my little part of my piles of shame. This is all the minis that were from that big drawer, but almost like I think, what's this supposed to be, a cream donut mimic? Yeah, that's a cream donut mimic right there. think it may be easier for me to is Fox Lady, I think. Yeah. This one, I think, like these really dark gray ones, I think I bought these from a shop just so I could see how, instead of like buying a whole bottle of resin and laying it and start using it, I kind of buy from other people on like Etsy and stuff, just see how the resin turns out. And then I'm like, okay, if that's a good quality, I'll buy a bottle of that resin and start using it. I think these ones are supposed to be the ABS tough ones. Yeah, I want to try to snap it, but just give it a little flex to it when you move it. What's this guy? Oh, this is a special D&D Durgar, I think. Yeah, I just never got around to painting him, so I just did a black coat on him. Man, cat hair just gets everywhere. I need to get one of those little fan things, and I need to pull all the cat hair off of my junk. Yeah, that's another Durgar right there. Are these like donut holes, I think? Yep, donut hole minis. I think this is like a witch. Yeah, witch right there. Kind of just blue tack so you can see like where it attaches on the base. Huh. I was noticing like, yeah, whoever did this one, their levels aren't well because you can see how it buckles right there. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be smooth. Especially when you see like lines like this, you can tell that it's not supported enough. And then as you add more layers, it gets weighed more, and then it like kind of like droops, and that's what causes it to like curve like that. But yeah, there we go. Ooh, Sir Robin is a goblin knight that I remember from one of our campaigns. I didn't notice his sword went so far. How am I supposed to make him stand on a rock or something? This is supposed to be a bear claw. It's like an actual claw. Yeah, it is. I guess for like if you use magic hand or something like that. Enough looking in that drawer. Enough looking at all these drawers. We need to get looking at these paints more. So what we got here? So we got for sure our primer. We got our green shades that we can even mix with some of the yellows we got here, so it should be good. Want ogre, that's probably gonna be the main color before. So it looks like going based off that picture we got right there, it goes from red to yellow to green. So I'm probably gonna do red, yellow on top, and then go with these greens. Probably this one first, and then this for highlighting, and then go back with another yellow on top of that. Playing Miku Boxing and you're lurking, Ace. Oh man, I forgot I have to play Miku Boxing today, don't I? Oh man, this is gonna be a lot to do today. But yeah, I think we're good on colors. I don't see anything else I could probably use. Just use those for the first one, I guess. Yes, for my Citadel paints, I never put the top, so I don't know what they look like dried. Oh well. Let's move all this out of the way. Let's put this on my bed. Try not to knock anything over. So if I didn't say welcome in, Ace, if you're lurking all that, let me now move all this back into the position I had it originally. Which I think this came down like this, yeah. Because I kind of want it to look like right. Bring that up more. Want it like right here, I think. Yeah, look. looks good. So let's tighten that one down first. Let's tighten this one next. And then the third one. Let's just get the camera in the way I want it. I have to wait till it's finished adjusting on the stream so I can see where the camera's pointing. Okay. Let's try to straighten you out there. And see where it settles when I let go of it. Do you know what? I have a secondary thing I can look at that'll be faster than wait for stream to catch up. Let me open that tab. There we go. Now I could just adjust while having wait for stream to catch up so I can see where it's adjusting at. Let's get a little higher up like there. Let's let go. Let's go a little higher. Right there. Let go. Alright, that's fine. Bring my brush rinser back into play. Okay. Seems like a good spot. No, I did not do. Where is it? Here's my little. My brushes are here because, funny enough, I got lazy and started just keeping all my brushes. There's a little jar of tools. Ah! Why do I keep knocking you down? So this is my jar of brushes slash tools. This I need to get rid of because this is my old Gundam nipper that I got from like Gundam plant. But if you look closely, it rusted because I had a cover for this. I don't know where the cover went, and then it was left. Any moisture in the air kind of like rusts them, so I have to get rid of this guy. Get a new nipper before I do any model kits again. It still kind of works, but it's best not to use it when it's all rusty because it could just chip and break one day while you're doing it. It could mess you up. So this is my wet palette, which I need to wet the sponge up, and then I need to get a sheet, which I have over there. We're gonna grab one of my wet palette sheets. There's this spare sheet. Look, that's a wet palette sheet. What you want to do is wet the sponge down here, and then you put the sheet on top, and that keeps your paints from drying out. And since it's a case and all, you can just close it up later, and then you can save it and continue painting another day if you don't want to paint it all in one go. So it's a nice way, and then the nice part, since it's your palette, you could make your custom colors, and then still be able to use those colors over and over. So what I'm gonna do though is, I don't have a dropper to pull that water in here, do I? Can't turn it over because it's bottle. If I lift up, it's just gonna spill water everywhere. Actually, I also have to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna go use the bathroom and then I'm gonna wet the sponge. So we're gonna do a quick BRB while I do that. Let me switch to the BRB screen, which let me also make sure I have a deezer on that so we can hear the music. Okay, yeah, there's a deezer on here. Alright, I'm gonna be right back, everyone, while I prep that. Alright, I'm back. And I got my sponge nice and wet. You don't want it too wet. You just want like enough where when you hold it like up to down, water's not gonna drip out of it. That's about how wet you want that. Take our little sheet, put that right on top. And let's see if we can get this to help. Just wanna flatten that nice, get rid of any of the air pockets on there. Our little palette sheet here will kind of absorb the water, but not enough where it'll go through, but it'll keep the paint from drying out and also keep the paint moistened at the same time. Well, that's the same thing. But it'll keep the paint from bleeding through. You know, sometimes some paints if I leave it there for like more than a week, it'll eventually bleed through the sheet into the sponge. That's not an issue because I never had like it's kinda, why'd you, okay, let me get a credit card. It's easier with a credit card. Let's not use the actual credit card, so let's just use this in and out card, gift card I have. Get rid of all those wrinkles, make it nice and smooth. So affect our blending sometimes if it's not a smooth surface. This is all the effort I go through just to start painting. But since it's a wet palette, you can keep paint on here for like, I've done as long as like almost 2 weeks, and the paint stays good and ready to use. So if you're doing like a really big project, you can put as much paint as you want on here. It'll be good for that whole week. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. Just pass on both sides. Turn around, stick here. And that's pretty smooth. It's like kind of a wrinkle right there, but that's fine. We'll just not use that one part. Mostly we're just gonna focus like in the middle to keep it as moistened as possible. And we'll just put this on top there. I'm just gonna move these away. Just keep that palette over there next to the brush cleaner. And you forgot where to put this. I'm running out of desk room like always. And let's move this guy up here, because the main thing we're gonna do. Looks that you're here. As I know for sure you're here and you're not lurking. You're able to talk in chat. How loud is this when I do this while talking? Is this like very loud compared to me, or can you not hear me at all right now? And I have to wait till like 20-second delay from stream chat to you talking back to me. Oh, did my camera freeze? What happened to my camera? Okay, that was weird. It was frozen for a second. Okay, so it is loud. Okay, so I'm probably just gonna keep it in my lap. Let me try moving my lap. If I have it down here, is that still like noticeable, or is it just in the background? Oh, it feels like your ears are vibrating a bit, but it's not too bad. Yeah, so right now, how's that sound? Okay, so it's better down here, okay. Because basically to mix all these little balls I have, because I put 2 little ball bearings in them so they could mix the pigments up, but I probably have to hold these on here for about anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes just to get them in usable condition again. And depending on brand, it could be different because sometimes some are thicker pigments, some aren't. Also, I may have to paint if they're dried out too much, use some of this acrylic thinner to get them loose again. So honestly, right now it's just gonna be a lot of prep work just to make sure all our paints are working again. Because that's another thing, you don't really want to keep these paints in a place where it's like too humid or too dry, and you don't want to keep them near like light sources and stuff like that, because I hear that affects them too. Man, my hands are gonna feel weird. I remember last time I did this, like just holding these for so long against this vibrator, thing. Vibrating? Why I got that mixer? I make it sound weirder when I say it that way. But yeah, holding them against here for a while just makes your hand feel numb after a bit. So yeah, now we're just another just chatting stream while I get this going. So what time is it? Ah, it's already 8:30. Jeez, I was planning on ending stream around 9. We've only just started getting to painting. I only have 2.5 hours. Jeez. Already 2.5 hours in and I haven't began painting anything. Yeah, I joked with other people earlier that like pretty much like bet it's gonna be like a luck stream where I don't actually accomplish anything for the first hour and a half. And then when we actually start going, I'm gonna be like, oh, sorry, I have to end stream now, guys. Sorry. It's a compliment, Lux. You're the Yap Queen. I'm learning from you. I learned it by watching you, Lux. I learned it by watching you. But hey, group mini painting stream went. Along with our fight me and Mika right now. I will. Come on over, I dare you. Oh. Are you saying because of how bad I can sound? I dare you drive down over here and play Miko boxing against me right now and see who gets a better score. So, problem now I have is I want to end at 9, but I could probably keep going after 9. I just have to take a short break right before 9 o'clock to set something up. But yeah, I could probably go after 9. Problem is, like, if I go after 9, how much further do I go past 9 to still be able to do Miko boxing, which takes anywhere between like 30 to 45 minutes to do. How's this one? Oh, no. Still feels a little chunky. I mean, I guess I could also like hold this up here, but I don't know how well that translates for my quality right now. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of this and like 10-15 seconds out of moving position, so it's always mixing up the pigments and different parts of it. You can even like do a sideways one right here, but usually they can all do like a point. And primer has a lot of pigment in it, so that takes a lot. What do you mean it looks sus? On more sounds. It's funny, like, depending on how I hold it to, makes it sound like completely different. I am a lawnmower. How did you know? How do you think I cut all this miniature grass to put for bases? Okay. Like, there's not really any way to tell if it's separated or not with the brush on primer, so I think that's good. This one, usually you just want to look for like a uniform color, because if I go, it's something like this one where you see like it's more of a blue screen on top, but the bottom is yellow. That means most of the pigment settled down to the bottom, so you want to get that one a nice shake. I am a lawnmower. You can't change anything. So I'm gonna hold this at one corner. Just hold that for like a good 30-ish seconds. And then when I lift up back here again, you can see kind of like shaking into the top again. So yeah, you just want to do a lot of that. This is the secrets of mini painting that they don't show you. Well, not secrets. This is the boring part of mini painting they don't show you. The prepping. And I know, like back in May 2 years ago when I was doing one mini a day, usually I decide like what colors and stuff I'm using the next day. And literally, like, because I try to challenge myself, like when I got home from work, which was like around 3:30, to have a mini done and have it like posted on my Instagram by like 7:30. So I had 3 hour window. But what I do like the night before is like if I know what colors I'm using, I'll be doing this for like a good hour and a half after I finish my mini, just prepping the paint by make sure it's all mixed up by the next day. But it's a lot of mixing. So that's what I'm looking now. Okay, you can see it's really mixed up over there. There's still a lot of like the other color mixed over there. So let me hold on that side. Good thing is a lot of these paints, I don't see them, none of them look like they're drying out since they're mixing well. That's the worst part, when you have a bunch of paints and then you find out that your paints aren't useful anymore because they dry out. That's why I move all those sizzles into droppers. Okay. So we're doing that as a base. We're gonna use that. Well, we got our actual base, which is the primer, then the real base, then the secondary base I'm gonna put on top of that. So I should probably go with that one next. So I want to hopefully just get the base coat done by tonight if I can. I'm also noticing on that picture I have above chat, it looks like the teeth are the same color as the skin. So that kind of saves some extra working we have to do. And it's funny, this ogre skin I have, just looking at it kind of look like it's just like a Dijon mustard. Don't eat your paints. Never eat your paints. But yeah, we're almost there. I want to make sure I have the primer and the base coat stuff first, and then we can worry about the highlight stuff afterwards. So anything, we could just get this guy base coated by tonight, and then we can work on detailing later, which means downside is my hands. You can see it, like I was holding the thing here, you can see how red it got. Ooh. Get your blood flowing in there. But yeah, I want to get probably the base done, and then since I'm streaming tomorrow and Wednesday, those are most likely gonna be, how liquidy is that? Okay, that's good. We're gonna start with good old pull the primer all over the whole mini, so let's get a good drop like that in there. Let me start moving my tools out of the way. So since we're just going straight into, take like a flat brush like this. Before dry brush, one of the prismatic paint ones. Or actually, let me take one of my old, because I don't care about the bristles getting screwed up. Let's take one of these old dry brushes I had. And we're pretty much just gonna go do a heavy layer. Well, not heavy, just a nice layer. Get this brush for a little bit. See if that looks okay. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting a tissue. Wait, this tissue. Is this? No, I think there's stuff on this tissue paper. I can't use it. Let me go grab one from the kitchen, just like a bounty sheet. There, we want one of these guys. And good thing with those is you could like wipe off excess paint, or use it like if you're dry brushing, you like do this with the paint until you get a nice thin layer, so you can dry brush and it won't be so thick. It's also good for getting a whip brush back to normal, so it's not as wet, but able to still hold enough paint that you want on there. It's really with the oh, this brush is really old. Did that just come off? Sure did. Alright, gotta keep that in mind. But just want not super thick layer. Primers usually have a lot of pigment on them, so you don't need a thick layer, because we want to keep all the details from the model. You know what? I didn't wash the model. Let me do that really quick. Just make sure there's no oils and stuff on it, because if there's oils and stuff and you put wet paint on it, it could kind of like come off. Actually, let me just take off this guy. Let me go wash this real quick. BRB. Hours away. Thanks for the hydrate, Rogue. Alright. I got him nice and washed. There's still a little water in him, so let me get microfiber cloth and try to get all that aqua. And then for Rogue, I'll finish off my can of Alani New Witch's Brew. Oh wait, it's empty. Let me grab my water bottle then. Where'd it go? Got a little bit left in my water bottle. Someone remind me how to get water. Well, next time I have to hydrate. Oh, I'll be taking a break soon, so I'll probably get water during that break time. Just taking this little microfiber cloth I have, that's like a spare one I don't use for anything else. I'm just getting all those little crevices, get rid of all that water, because you don't want any liquid on this guy when you start painting, or it'll thin the paint and cause issues. So there's him all cleaned up. Notice he's a little bit less shiny, so yeah, there was some like excess byproduct on him from either the molding process or even some plastics over time. They may like ooze out oils and stuff like that, so you want to get those all out there so it's a nice clean dry surface. Alright, so now we take our thing. I should probably put him back on this guy, just make it easier. Let's just put his butt on there. Let's get my brush all lathered up. Since it's dry brush, I don't really care if it like getting down into the bristles, though you should avoid that. Never have paint go on the bristles because it's just a pain to get rid of. And yeah, it's like you don't really have to be too delicate about it. You could just kind of like go like this. This is an old dry brush, I don't care. Just kind of go back and forth. Just make sure you get all the crevices. Just want a nice layer of primer on him, pretty much. And it's where it's like so much darker where I'm looking underneath the camera, but then I look at in the camera and I can see so much better with the camera. Yeah, we're just gonna do a nice thin layer of primer. We may have to do 2 layers depending on the primer and the plastic, because sometimes it'll bleed through a little bit. I just like doing it like this way, so you get nice thin coat. And our goal is to turn all the green into gray. Happy little accidents. Low power remote. Oh, let me. Oh, I had my camera plugged into a battery bank, but the battery bank wasn't plugged in all the way. Let's get a little more paint on there. And yeah, just repeat. Unless there's like kind of a dentage in there. Oh, why did the camera go away? I don't want the camera to go away. I want to be able to see what I can do. There you go. Oh my gosh, why did the camera keep going away? Keep the camera up, please. I'm using that as a way to see what I'm doing. Okay, come on. Okay, let's get a little bit more. I don't know why it keeps on. Is it because it was plugged in? When it's not plugged in, it doesn't go away? Let me see. Yeah, it's not fading black. That's weird. So when it's not in like a power save mode, it doesn't fade to black the camera. That's odd. Problem is, I want it to be plugged in so I don't lose battery. Let's get this guy. If it does fade to black, I'll just try eyeball it from here. It's okay if I put too much on like that, because you can always just spread it out again by just brushing back and forth. And remember, do this with your old dry brush, not your new one. This one I don't care how damaged it gets, because I don't really use it for anything anymore. Get inside those crevices, so let's get some more paint. Okay. See, how am I on the camera? I want to be like more right here, don't I? This part I don't like about the camera going away. I can't see where it is on the screen. Again, there's little crevices. It's just like kind of like brushing your teeth, going like circular motions. Just want to get every little thing covered. Also, you want to avoid trying to go over the same areas that are like starting to dry, because you don't want to like get patchy and like potentially have chunks of paint coming off too. It's okay if like there's like little bits of green showing through like that, because we're going to go through with a second pass to make it look better. There we go. Yeah, this is. Let's see if I can get this better if I'm standing up. Move you to right in front of the camera. Yeah, I need to really work on this lighting setup I have, because the way I hold my brush is right next to the light, so it's kind of blocking the light. I'm trying to get in there. But it's all little baby steps we're taking to learn how to get this working well. since this like bottom part's really dried up already, go in with a quick like second-ish layer down here. I just want to avoid there because that's still drying a little bit. Make sure I'm getting all those little crevices. Try to get in between its muscles and stuff down here. It's gonna need speed really quick too. Get out those little toes. These little feet here too. Look at those little paws. That's a happy little mutant. Oh man, am I holding it too close? Yeah, I was. Let's get a little crevice between its legs. Let's do this little rib cage area too. I just want him nice and gray everywhere. Let's get his face now. So let's see. Oh. We just. So I want to hold him right there. That's kind of the sweet spot right now. Okay. Get his face nice and grayed up. And the reason we're doing a primer base coat is so when we do the red, we don't have it like looking more. See, if you combine green red, it'll probably be like a brownish color, green red together, and we don't really want that. So we're doing the primer first, so this plastic doesn't show through, and it'll be a more even red coat around the whole mini. Let's go a little hard on these legs. Let's try to get these. Like I could probably go more paint on the bottom because you're not gonna see that as detailed as say the top part of the mini, especially since the base is gonna be underneath it, so no one's ever gonna see the bottom that much. Let's get this leg too. Another easier way to do this is if we just had a spray can and we just spray painted him. That's the easiest way. You just get a whole bunch of them, you put them on like a stick, and then you just spray paint all your minis. Whoop. Holding him way off camera. Now we'll get inside those teeth areas too. How's that? Oh no, that's not a good spot to hold either. And let me unplug my camera again. Just should have enough battery from there, just so I can see what I'm actually looking at again. Perfect. Let's do his foot too. Hit the camera with my brush. And since we're getting all kicked up in my brush right here, I'm gonna start cleaning it out right here. What I like about the brush rinser here is, you know, you get like a bunch of dirty water, you could just hit this button right here. It'll clear out and then just drop more new water in there, so you do nice cleans without having to deal with a giant pool of dirty water. Because if you just use a cup, that's what you eventually end up with, just a really dirty water, like mixture of all the pigments you're using. Plus you can tell when your brush is really clean because it won't be foggy when you put it in here anymore. So yeah, now we know that's nice and clean there. It just gives excess water off that. Trying to go in for another couple nice streaking dabs of primer. And then, see, let's get this foot. He's gonna have a really awkward green butt we gotta deal with soon. Just get a little primer on there. Bomb the feet first. Let's get the top part of those foot. Still gotta get the inside of the leg right there. That nice and coated. Don't. Oh, there's a little bubble, so this brush was still a little wet. That's a problem. You don't want those little bubbles forming, or else when it dries and they pop, you have issues. But your mini, so it won't have a nice clean base coat, and you know, well, it may work for these guys since they're mutants. It look like they have like pop boils and stuff like that, but you know, that may actually add to this mini instead of take away from it. I'm just trying to go back to where I see kind of like a little bit green bleeding through. Yeah, like up there. Let's see, other than his butt right there, some green bleeding right there that I want to cover up. That doesn't show up as well on camera as it does I see in person. Just gonna like dab those parts really well. Okay. See, it's coming more of a pure gray sculpture, which that's how we want him to look. Let's get this head again. And then usually you're supposed to do like one big layer and then afterwards let it dry. I kind of like just keep moving it around. And then once I notice like another part's dry, we could go back in, add more pigment to it, and then wait for that to dry as we go search for another part where we could add pigment to. Like behind here on his elbows, we're gonna need a little bit more primer. Although the wet palette keeps the paint good, I don't want to waste it because I know once I'm done with the project, I throw away the sheets. And let's just say these paints aren't too cheap. Though they're nice because they can last a long time if you take care of them. Make sure to brush, you know, for sure, like if you kind of right bit so it's like nice and dryish on towel. If you don't see any pigment on there, then you know it's good. Okay, let's go ladder up a little bit more again. Okay, let me see. Yeah, it's weird, like you kind of see the greenish on him, but I see a lot more in real life than what my camera's picking up. I think it's that thing where like cameras have a hard time picking up yellows and greens sometimes, especially greens. They always, for some reason, greens tend to come out as like blues in cameras and stuff like that when they record it. Let's try to get underneath him, behind his legs again. So right there, I see a little bit right there. Do a quick swirl. You kind of see a little green in his sides too. Let's get those real quick. Can I move? If I move the light over here, to move in a way so it doesn't all fall down. Let me put that down actually. Try to do this like light right above the camera. Stop falling in, camera. You put something to help weigh down the. There you go. If I put it like right there, turn you up a bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks a lot better, especially on camera. Now I can see the green spots a lot better. Just gonna need that foot again. It's a little bit above and behind the elbow. Come on, stay still, Minnie. We're just gonna do like a little swirly action. Just give a nice little coat there. Okay, seems pretty much good. Not noticing any not covered areas, so we're just gonna grab him where he's not wet, so like right here. And now we have to do this underside. We go here, we put his feet down like this. Alright, now we gotta do his haunch. Gotta paint that haunch. I'm just gonna keep like dabbing a little bit. Okay, for some reason, like when I saw his haunch right there, I saw that line. I thought that was a hair from my thing, but it's not. It's just a seam line from the plastic injection mold. So we just gotta paint this haunch a little more. Oh, there's a little bit right here in his armpit too. Let's get that over here. There, that looks more uniform. Get his little tail there. Underneath his haunch, let's get his crotchus region going. Okay. What I'm also learning from this is I should probably prime and prep these before I stream this. I forgot how long this takes just to prime stuff. And a lot of the like D&D minis I painted, a lot of them come pre-primed. So that helped out a lot when I was doing like that May Mini Madness thing I was doing 2 years ago. Having to deal with pre-primed minis is the way to go. Just a little bit more right there. See what green bleeding through. Oh, you know what? I completely missed the top of his foot back here. Yeah, let me do that. Coming this way too. Also top this foot too. I don't know how I missed that. Let's do a quick circle around. Just a little bit underneath his armpit over here or something. Under his arm right here too. Okay. Looking pretty statuesque right now. Let's go hit its butt again. Has that dried all the way? Yeah. Just give him a nice little patting right there. I'm a little okay with some of the little bubbles we're getting. Because again, that could be a little bit texture slash boils from their skin. Try to see. Do I spy any green? Tiny bit on his nose there. Just do a quick little all over his face. Just make sure that's nice and primed. Good. Okay. There's a bit of crevice right there too. Alright. Now he looks like a nice white statue, which is the look we're going. Priming it. Let's go clean this dry brush out. Make sure there's no pigment left in it. Also, I like how it kind of wells like that because a lot of the pigments are heavy enough that there's only a little bit left. You can just hold it for a second. The heavy pigments will float down into this container. Alright, so we got him all primed up. So our next goal is going to be going through with the red and doing a base coat of that. But where are we at right now for time? Okay, it's about 9 o'clock, so we're going to be taking a quick little break while I have to set something else up in a second. Well, it should be only about like 4 or 5 minutes. I'll probably run an ad break during that too, so we don't have to do pre-rolls for another hour. So I'll be right back. Just gonna switch to the BRB screen, mute my mic. back. Let me switch back to just creating. There we go. That's my microphone. Microphone looks good. All right. Let me. Yeah, I'm running out of real estate on my screen right now. Let me move this here. Make sure my camera's still working. Camera check. Camera check's working. Good. Check my stream. So I haven't checked in a while. Audio's good. Cool. All right. Back to streaming. All right. So we got our. Oh God. Camera saying low power mode. Hey, you're fine. Just 20%. I know. I'm just noticing that paw still looks. I'm taking off there. There's a little bit right there. Let me get that paw. Make sure I get inside that ear too. And all these little teeth. Let's do the back again too. Still noticing like a little bit green patches. They're not showing up on camera, but I'm seeing it with my eye. Okay, the underside looks pretty good. Okay, let me go wash that. That brush nice and clean. We're just gonna be doing another base coat, so you can see where it dried up on paper. You don't see any pigments on there. That's how you know it's clean enough. Also, you never get worried about these, because funny thing with blue tack is if you just like mix it a little bit, it'll get rid of all the paint eventually, because the pigments will just get folded into it. Just get nice and work together, and then look, it's a bright blue again with no, a little bit streaks of pigment, but I'm not gonna work with it anymore. So I'm gonna focus, we're gonna do the top, and then when we're done with the top coat, still a little bit wet, gotta wait for that to dry. But yeah, once we're done with that top coat, like once, I'm sure Candace, you can still always hear me. So once we finish with that top coat, we're gonna do a full coat of the red base, and then we're gonna flip them over, do the bottom half. It's weird, I can see the green. It doesn't show up on the camera, but I can see the green in real life. It's still bleeding through a bit, but once we get the base coat down, it should be fine. Because these are also very dense pigments too. But at least having this primer coat on here will make sure not much of that green bleeds through. So yeah, right now we're gonna take a quick second. I'm mostly just chilling to wait till I see the pigments fully dry on there, which is almost done. That's why you want to do thin layers, so you can keep painting and not have to wait a while for it to dry out. Look at that little boy. Look at those thick muscles on him. That's a good little mutant hound. See, what time is it? I just remember I have to do Miku. I say maybe 20 more minutes, and then I need to get started on Miku. So hopefully by the time we're finished with the base coats, it shouldn't take too long. So, just freshen this red paint up real quick. And don't want really mixing with the primer. Put primer the other red one was, so I don't have to worry about staining the sponge again. And we'll do pretty much just as much as we use on with primer. So usually we only need one coat of this. Just want to get a nice thin layer on my little brush. And start right up here. We're just doing a base coat, so it's just a nice thin layer of that. Give them a nice like red muscle fleshy layer going on. That's our goal right now. Which we want to see no gray on this model once we're done. And it looks a little light when it's drying out, but when it's fully dried it should look like that, where it's more of a darkish red hue. So that's how we'll know when it's dry finally. But we're gonna keep going until the entire model is red, basically. Let's get more on there. Nice fleshy look. I just realized I haven't done any of my dailies in any of my games I play. This is my problem with hobbies. If I dedicate times to hobbies, I can't play video games as much as I usually do. And once I don't play the games I like to play, then I get sad. Because I miss them. Like that's the reason why I pick up a hobby and then a month later I'm like, I miss video games, and then I don't come back to a hobby for like a good year and a half after that point. Oh. Let's get the mount. Gotta get all these little crevices in this color. Like a little Q-tip in his ear. And the good thing with a base paint is it doesn't matter if everything's the same color, because once you layer with other pigments that are strong, you should be fine. One thing I'm a little worried about is I know yellow doesn't always seem to be the best pigment. So we may have to go a little excess on the highlighting layers with yellow later. Yellow seems to be like, it's a thick pigment, but for some reason it doesn't seem to dry as good as the rest, every other pigment does. Just an issue with yellow, I don't know why. But the good thing is we're pretty much done with him, mostly on the top part. Trying to make sure. That's why I'm kind of like avoiding this whole underbelly area, because I know I'm going to get it with when we turn them over. I want to make sure I get all these outer leg parts and everything like that first. Get this back. Like watching paint streams is so relaxing. Sorry it took so long to read that. I got too into painting that I forgot I had chat to read. You just hurt muscle fleshy layer. I think that's also another thing. Like, I'm also the same way, but like when I'm actually doing it, I could easily just like sometimes when I'm like prepping minis, I'll just be like this for like 3 hours straight, just painting minis like this, not talking, not saying anything. I'll just have like a movie or something going in the background, and I just get lost into it. And then sometimes, one time I know it's like I was prepping like 12 minis that day, and I didn't even realize like I went through like 4 or 5 Marvel movies. I was like, what movie am I on? I'm like, oh my god, I'm already on like, what was it, like Cap Winter Soldier, and I was watching from like the beginning. So I was like, a whole day went by of me just prepping minis and getting them into like perfect setup, like not just like primer but also like base coating them like this. And I was like, wow, I watched like, I don't remember how many movies that is till Winter Soldier. I may have skipped a few because I know like I usually skip like Thor Dark World and stuff like that because I don't know, something about that movie I don't like. I feel like it just drags on. But yeah, I could go like easily 12 plus hours just doing this all day if I got stuck with it. Which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Could be a bad thing. Could be a good thing that I could paint minis all day and not get bored from it. But yeah, as I was saying, what my other thing is, downside is I miss video games. So eventually, like after doing this for like a month, I'll be like, I want to play games again. I want to play games with my friends and stuff again. I don't want to just paint minis all day. If my job was just play games in the afternoon and paint minis in the morning, that would be the perfect life for me. Okay. There, now it looks like a red crunchy candy. Which I think is kind of goal with this color, wasn't it? Like cinnamon red? Yeah. He's like a little gummy cinnamon bear. Let's go clean out. Look how red that pigment pool is. And you don't gotta worry about it going up because once you push that down, it sucks it all down. Just try to clean the brush as well as I can before I start on the bottom layer. Pass, but I think it's good. Yeah, there's like no pigment now. But you can see a little bit pigment got stuck in there. That's why you don't want the paint rushing to the very end of it. So you have to like do something like this, but this damages the bristles. This is why this is my crappy dry brush set. Oh. Also, for some reason, the glue in here doesn't hold anymore, so I have to like super glue that back in. Yeah, as long as there's no pigments coming off it, that's clean enough. Feels dry. Just wet it because I don't want any finger oils on there. And now we're gonna, looks pretty much dry all around. Yeah. We're gonna take him, we're gonna flip him upside down, and we're gonna get that belly done now. So let me just push him down like that. Pretty sure he's dry enough so nothing should come off. Yeah, that's how you know he's dry. You can put him in blue tack and the blue tack doesn't rip off the paint. And that's how quick this stuff dries, so it's a good way to double check. Also, you kind of don't want to check if you know it's not drying, because then you're just ripping off paint and you gotta go back in. This brush is, oh, there's not enough pigment. That's why it's not making a good layer on there. Let's get another 2 drops in there. Make this peppermint boy nice and done. There we go. That's how you know there's enough pigment. It's okay if it pulls. You always just go back in and brush it around until it's a nice coated evening. A little bit rushing the bomb because, like I said before, you won't see underneath this mini that much. So like bomb speed I'm not too worried about. Just want to get like the legs mostly. Oh, can you make sure I'm holding up the mini high enough? So I'm doing way better posture in this than I am before. Because sometimes I'd be like completely hunched over and like holding the mini like this and looking at it really close. But having the camera set up like this is kind of like forcing me to make sure I'm sitting nice and up. Thanks for the posture check. But yeah, it forces me to kind of sit up because I'm constantly looking through the camera to double check the stream and then readjusting from there. Let me get nice and in there because like yeah, that bomb part, the teeth. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but like the bomb is jaw is still gray, so I'm just gonna get some more pigment there and just kind of like push against it so that pigment gets nice in those little gaps that have trouble with it. And do again with his face too, because his face is gonna be the part that does the most detail, probably. I'm gonna make sure that's nice and covered. I don't know if that ear's there. Got that ear now. Let's do the other side. Gaze. Brush his teeth. Brush his teeth. Got that nice red, meaty, fleshy look to him now, which we're gonna cover with more greens next. Actually, I think we want to go with the yellow first and then the green layer. With that, we missed a little spot right there. Looks like I just saw on camera. Yeah. Let's see if I get his. Come on, focus. There's like this part right underneath his on his paw up here. Missed that spot. And that's a good part of this because I can just kind of hold this and just like keep moving around, turn it, just see if I missed anything. And it's nice that you just use your thumb, so thumb, or I could just use my index finger too. Just see if I missed anything. It looks good. Let's hit that button one more time. There we go. Nice, even coating. Not noticing any patches or anything like that. You know what I could kind of do? Should I or no? Nah, I'll save it for the other model. So I was thinking of doing is I may take like a speed paint for the other model, and after this coat's fully dry, just go in with a speed paint over it so it kind of like darkens the crevices. Actually, no, we're gonna do that now. Problem with speed paints is they're very liquidy because they're meant to be heavy pigment but very thin paint. So they can flow in and fill in crevices, but yeah, let's do the speed paint. I think that's gonna turn out well. The great thing with speed paint is I don't have to shake it as much since it's very liquidy. And just try to get this all cleared up with red pigment. Man, why you gotta fall off like that? This is how you know you have a really old brush that you've been using forever. It has all the love in it. Oh, well, that's not good. My brush just fell. I don't know where the tip went. Uh-oh. Tip, where'd you go? We didn't go underneath my chair. There. Landed right on my foot. Alright. We gotta maybe time for a new brush, because like even then, like this part's blatant too, so sometimes it gets loose if I don't pinch it close again. There we go. That should hold it. So kind of give him more of that reddish. Give him both like a little bit I'd give him like a little more outlining where like his crevices and stuff are. I'm gonna take this, which is blood red speed paint for Omni Painter. You'll need a lot. Also, let me use a different brush. I want something bigger head and a little thinner. You don't want this soaking into your brush. I'm gonna use this brush right here, my base coater. Kind of want to use a brush like this. Oh, got a little bit red in there to get the brush wet, but then I want to style it into a point, pretty much like that. I want a nice point like that right there. There's one frayed hair on that brush. Could have been when I had it stored, that hair just was away from the brush and that's why it's off like that. I usually take a little clipper or something and cut it off, but we should be fine with it right now. But yeah, let's take this blood red. And this stuff is basically just like liquid and definitely looks like blood. So this speed paint, what it does is like, so it's very thin, so it'll run into all the crevices and then add detailing that way. You don't need a lot of it, just want to soak some into the brush like that. And then our main goal right now is to, let's get the teeth first. So just want to brush that in there, and then when it dries, it'll pull the pigment into the details pretty much. You kind of go on a little thick like on camera. Go on a little thick like this, but then as it dries, it'll pull into all the crevices. Kind of like this. They also dry pretty fast and well. And I want to be careful. I don't want these bubbles forming though. A lot of times from what I notice, it's pretty good at, oh no, focused. It's pretty good at getting rid of bubbles as it dries. So we just want to do a nice layer of everything. I should turn them over. Oh well. We can worry about that later. So you can kind of see like right there, all the dark redness is pulling in the little crevices he has. And I'll just make the details kind of pop more. Jesus, I'm having trouble focusing on red. Keep on losing focus on the camera. I'm trying to just test it on the main body here. Get rid of those bubbles. I like to brush kind of like back and forth like this to pop them. Let's get underneath his chin now. Just happy little accidents. Also, well, the good thing about very thin paints and mini painting is if you ever paint the wrong place, you can always just fix it later. You just paint right over it. Yeah, I'm just seeing how that's turning out. Yeah, so especially in the mouth right there, it's turning out pretty nice, giving him a nice darker grin. Let's put a little more up there. I just don't want too much where it just like gets rid of some of the details with the dark pigment. But even if it gets too dark, we can always go back in with the base coat to lighten up again. That's looking good. Kind of want to make the ears a little darker. Fine with those being dark. So we go back in. Let's make both the ears dark. Okay, let's get these nostril skin too. Yeah, now you can really see those nostrils pop out like that. Give them a nice snarl. And like I said, we're gonna go back in later after this is all dry and give him a nice base coating again, just to bring back the brights to him, so it's not just really dark red anymore. And now we're going to kind of just, since the body has not as much detail, try and just do wide brushing swats and just let the paint settle wherever it settles. Not to worry about underneath the feet because they don't have any details anyways. Got little bubbles start forming. Now we're getting those ribs and other parts a lot darker now. And some of that muscle. Making some of that pop out now. Fine way of pulling a little bit on the bottom like that because we're just gonna highlight it again later. Out really quick. I like the speed paints because they're a lot easier to clean out. Since they're so loose, let's get a couple more drops in there. But also, since they're so loose, a lot of times when I have bleed throughs like that into the sponge, just because I left a speed paint in there for like a week or so on my palette. Just the body. Oh, I was looking at off camera instead of in the camera. Rest of this little leg over here covered red. Keep on taking off to the side to try to look at it instead of looking through a camera. I'm going back into my old ways. I need to focus on making sure it's on stream. Let me get this top part too. Fine with the top part being dark, because that will come back out when we no, another way I've seen people do is they take like a lighter or something really quick to it just to get rid of bubbles and stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend it because I feel like they do more damage to the paint than get rid of the bubbles. But some pigments could have stuff that makes it catch fire too, depending on what kind of pigments you're using. Nope, not holding up here. Let's just make this foot haunch really dark. See how that turns out. A nice fleshy haunch. Since this is the bottom, let's just give it a nice layer below it. Just let that stuff run where it wants to run. And one thing I'm a little worried about is it's gonna run on this little crevice on the butt. And make like a dark line there too. Let's get this. Oh, looking out the camera. This upper part too. Just add a little mix right there so that fills in those zones. It's basically just gonna look kind of like a you got skinned freshly kind of look, but we'll fix that later with highlights and stuff. Do like a second base coat eventually. There you go. Looks mostly done. The problem is like he's a lot wet right now, so we gotta wait till he fully dries before we move him around. Also, it's 9:30 now, so this may be where we call painting minis tonight. Got 'em mostly done, which is a good thing. We just gotta, I mean, having him, the longer you let them dry, the better. Because the cold will turn out better the longer it dries, so you don't have to worry about accidentally messing it up. Is that a bubble right there? That looks like a bubble. Let me see if I can pop that. Yeah. This is usually what I do when it's like drying like this. I'll take the very pinpoint. I may like pull into these scenes and then just like try to go back into something. But mostly my goal is to pop those little bubbles that show up on him. Also, not just popping bubbles, but I'm also like pulling any excess. So any parts that look like there's too much in there, like this ear now, just gonna put that there, suck up some of that with the brush. Same with this ear, this little crevice. Get rid of some of that very darkened colors. There, looks good now. I don't see any more bubbles. Just do a quick check on the camera. I think we're good. Let me just do a little bit more. Because like these little leg parts, I feel like it should be darker in the folds. So we're just gonna do a quick little extra on these front legs. just so that stuff can sit in those little crevices we got. There and there. Okay. Drain. And also my brush rinser's almost empty. Just do clean. Now that we see no pigments, we're good. Just make sure there's nothing left in there. Okay. I'll put that back in my little brush bowl. Put you over there too to dry. And now where is my top? There it is. So you take your little painter. This is supposed to hold all my like brushes and stuff, but I never use it. So uncover you, and then this little band here keeps it nice and almost like not airtight, but tight in enough, so keeps it nice and fresh. So that keeps it, and then don't have to worry about it opening up and the wet sponge going everywhere. It stays nice and dry on the outside. I want to put it somewhere where it's not too warm because you don't want mold and stuff growing in there. Just like a nice kind of cool area you can keep it in. I'd seen people put them in the refrigerator just to keep it from like getting warm in any way. But yeah, I think that's gonna be where we end today's painting segment. Got him. I like how he's turned out already. Really getting those crevices. Plus they won't be as dark. Like that looks really dark, but when they dry up, it just looks like there's more detail on him, even though all we did was just take a speed paint over a base paint and just make some of those details pop. And then we're gonna I may just dry brush the base paint over again just to bring up some highlights. You know, we're gonna go over it again with this color, but we're probably gonna do a lot of dry brushing in that color so that camera did just what you do. Phone, what you do. Oh, that's probably a perfect time. I'm gonna plug in really quick. But that may be a perfect time to segue into. Did my phone turn off? Okay, my phone did turn off. Okay. It said it was at 5% still, like a second ago. Maybe just that thing where it shuts off. Even below. Alright, well. Perfect time to segue into Miku boxing. So let me spend a good, like, probably 4 or 5 minutes setting that up. Let me move this lamp out of the way. Grab this phone. Alright, powering up my iPhone again. Let me move this arm out of the way so I don't punch it. Put that below my desk. Okay. Good. Just make sure I close this app. Alright, we're gonna transition over to Miku boxing now. So let me just start migrating everything that I put in the center of my desk over back to where all my mini stuff was. You know, when I get home tomorrow, I'm probably gonna spend more time tonight just cleaning up my desk again. Let's get all these little minis over here. Put these older minis back in the case before I forget to. just sit out here forever. Getting dust and dirt all over them. Mostly cat hair that won't come off the grass for some reason. Sorry for all the dust clutter noise you're about to hear. So I move everything over. Just move these out of the way. Okay. Let me put this back on my brush. It's not late, Lux. I won't be EP. I'm getting used to exercising. You know what's funny? When I did my stream on Sunday, that Saturday night, like before midnight, because I almost forgot to play. I played the game like 5 minutes before midnight, and it counted towards my goal for the day before. And then when I woke up for that stream, first thing I did was Miku Box again. But it turned out after Miku Boxing first thing in the morning on Sunday, I found that like how everyone says like when you do a workout like early in the morning, you just feel awake and energized for the rest of the day. So I guess it's healthy that I'm doing this now. Alright, got all my stuff out of my way here so I can get Miku Boxing. Oh, Lux, you missed it earlier. I have now a dice redeem where I show off my dice on stream, but I can't do that anymore now because the camera's dead. I should also switch this over to probably just chatting before I switch over to Miku Boxing. So let me get Miku Boxing going in my category. Boxing. Hatsune Miku. Let's see. What else I guess switch our tag I use. I gotta make this full screen or else it doesn't let me edit title for some reason. That sounds familiar. Is this from Final Fantasy 11? Oh no, it's Titus theme. Okay, Final Fantasy 10. Is Titus theme similar to Bastoc's theme from Final Fantasy 11? Let's do Late Night Boxing. That's the title. Hydrate, hero, good call. And let's see how much water is actually left. There's just a small bit of water left in my bottle. That wasn't even enough for me to actually do a full gulp. So I'm gonna hold that hydrate as I go fill my water. Let me go into a BRB screen really quick. gonna go get my water, then we're gonna switch over to Miku boxing. So yeah, be right back. Everyone who needs to use a bathroom break, go do it right now. I'm gonna get my water. Oh, did I unmute my mic? So you guys can hear me right now? Yep. Oh, you can hear me anyways, who cares? Almost done. Just Hero says gulps. That's some good water. Make sure to add 2 scoops of ice to help me cool down afterwards. Alright, there's so much crap on my bed. Here, take you to your. Hey, let me, before I do this, put these pigments back up here on top of my bookshelf. Clean up the rest of my bed. Okay. Get my chair out of the way. Joy-Cons are connected. Come on, connect. Why is my right Joy-Con not connecting? Or is it my left? Charge, right? Shows it's charged. What's going on? Okay, there we go. For some reason it wasn't connecting all the way. Always hold me accountable for what I do, hero. Alright, let me transition over.